welcome to another episode of The Flank. All right, I'm joined by Ben J. Nassim. I'm joined by Chris Duarte Pearson, and of course, Mr. Patrick Price, a.k.a. Aches. Gentlemen, long day at COD. How we feeling, man?
Massive upset at the end. We'll probably get to that last. I thought it would be an all chalk day, but it definitely did not play out that way.
No, we had a couple upsets, I would say. We got the New York Boston, which I think a lot of people didn't expect. I mean, not trying to toot my own horn here, you know, but I did call that one yesterday. Did I not, Ben?
Yes, you did.
And then we also had the LA Thieves, who went down to the Florida Mutineers today, which was an interesting one. We're going to go back and watch some of these matches. But how you guys doing today, man? You guys doing all right? You guys enjoy the show? Everybody have fun today? Pat, did you tune in a lot today? What's going on with you?
Yeah, I did, and I did want to say shout out to the chat, all those who voted on me. Hey, I'm glad I could get y'all some channel points.
Yeah, Pat got his cam on first today. But over you, Ben. We had channel points on the line. Who's gonna get their camera up? Pat beat you by half a second, Ben. Half a second.
Oh, well,
hey,
I didn't even know we had a channel points vote. I told Chris I was just gonna.
But think about it.
I was in a video, and I was gonna unhide my video once everybody got in there. You know.
What do I always say, Tom? Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile.
Yeah.
Winning is winning.
Exactly, Pat. Exactly. Let him know. Let him know. We saw Cristiano Ronaldo win an exit today, Ben, from Portugal. You know, Portugal ended up falling flat. Lionel Messi still going strong because that's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, it's been fun. Watching some COD, watching the World Cup. I like to say we just get right into it, man. We had some good matches today. Let's hop into the first series. First off, we got Atlanta FaZe going up against the Vegas Legion, Embassy Hardpoint, Embassy S&D, Hotel Control, Mercado Hardpoint, and El Asilo S&D. I'm going to start things off. Vegas got fucking pooped on.
Not first map.
Okay, maybe the first map was kind of close. I mean, FaZe, it was a pretty back and forth map. We'll obviously get into it. But anything that you guys saw in the videos, maybe that Vegas maybe should have did something different, or do you think this was just a bloodbath from Atlanta FaZe?
Yeah, I mean, I think they just got smoke showed. I don't think any map was really saving them, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think
20-minute series, bro.
To pick up on a discussion we had like last show. You know, FaZe is clearly trying to, I think, play all the maps. They only played not two of them at this point. But yeah, I agree with Chris. I mean, first map was a little bit close, but after that, this was like the fastest series we've seen so far this year.
Yeah, Pat, what did you think about the whole thing? I feel like Vegas, they just they couldn't keep up with the slaying power from FaZe. It just seemed like FaZe was just a little bit too much for them today. But what did you think?
Yeah, and I mean, the problem I have is I just don't think Vegas can really keep up with the slaying power from any team. I think, you know, I know it's early, Tom. I know you don't like this, but I'm down to say the Vegas experiment, it was a fail. I don't think this roster is going to cut it for what this team is trying to do. I don't have a fix personally. I don't even know where you'd start, but I just don't think this roster is going to cut it in this type of game.
I mean, Pat, I'll say that I've been putting out videos since the summer that I thought that this team was few changes away. Like, I think the Don and Clay duo is actually kind of worked. It seems like Clay's, you know, definitely back a little bit in form. I know he had a tough series here, but they all got kind of smoked.
Wait.
But I think they definitely probably need a new player upgraded, you know, for DJ and Byron to really be like competitive top 4, top 3, you know.
I'm struggling here, Ben, because I thought you were on the fence of that they should have kept their original team and ran it back instead of making this change.
That was a show take.
Oh, okay.
My YouTube take was for a minute with this team that I
don't like that, Ben. That
you got two different takes. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, you got two different takes. What's going on with that, Ben?
Official channel,
man. That's how it goes, you know.
Nah, that's not how it goes. You better start keeping your takes in check. You know what I'm saying, Ben? You gotta have the same takes everywhere, you know, or at least try to. But yeah, that was Pat. You got him with that one. But even though I will give it to Ben, I like the who were the two guys from Paris last year? It was Jimbo, right? And then who was the other one?
And Johnny.
Jimbo and Johnny, I don't think were bad players. Like I think Jimbo and Johnny, like especially Jimbo on land, like I felt like they had like something there, but I mean it just wasn't working. So I just didn't agree with keeping them together just for the sole fact of they were getting shit on. It's like the LAG situation, right? Like that three just wasn't working. So why keep it going? You know, why even keep that going?
I mean, if we want to have the roster mania conversation, maybe we table it for a sec. Like, I won't be surprised if this team tries to make a change. They whiff on a couple of targets, and then we see like one of those players come back on this team as a potential roster mania option after New Year's. So we'll see what happens.
I was gonna say, if you want to break this team down, at a core level, you got Donnie, who's I think very talented, and he showed that he can still compete, at the highest level. And even in this match, he had some spurts of greatness. I think you got an inconsistent player in Clay. I mean, he's obviously been at the tail end of his career for a bit. People didn't know if he was going to be starting this year, and I think you're kind of just seeing that, in his gameplay where he's like playing really good or he's playing, pretty poor. And then on the other end, the two SMG players, yeah, sure, Prolute's one of the young guns, but Prolute is he's not the best player in terms of the slaying power, and I think especially moving to a SMG player meta, I think you're just going to see this team struggle a lot more than they previously did, because they were thought to be a pretty good team at the beginning of the year in the M4 meta, right, where they were using a lot more ARs. But now that there's a little bit more clearly defined roles, I think you're going to start to see holes in this team's gameplay if you haven't already.
Yeah, Ben, this is kind of where we saw a little bit of a troll here from MC. I feel like MC, he knew the guy was here, and then he just kind of played a corner. Like, you see him play, he knows when the guy's here. He gives up the lane, and he just kind of slow plays it and plays a corner, and that allows Vegas to kind of hit the hill, and he kind of leaves his teammates just dry in the hill. Slasher finds 2, but because MC kind of gives up this lane, I don't know if he heard him or what. Donnie just runs into the hill and finds 2. So
it's almost like him and Austin are looking for the same player. If you look at how they kind of set up in the situation.
Yeah, I think right there, MC's better off just like playing a corner, making sure nobody can hit the hill. But it was Simp who ended up closing this one out in the rotation. We go into the second P5 roto, and Simp just calls game. You can already see him on your minimap, number 2, getting there early with 20 seconds left. He's getting here as early as possible. He's going to open things up against Donnie. But Simp, he closed this one out, Ben. No, he went fucking crazy here at the end. This was probably the closest map. It was pretty back and forth all map long. And then it wasn't until this very last P5 where Simp just gets in here, and they just can't kill him. They can't kill him at all. You see Prolute coming in here. Bada bing, bada boom. That's a 2-piece. They just couldn't handle him, Pat.
You want a crazy stat?
I'm always down for your crazy stats, Pat. You know me.
Brack had more kills in that last map against LAT than any one of these Vegas players had the entire series.
Damn.
Jesus.
That's a pretty crazy stat, huh?
Wait, really?
Wait,
are you
Not
sure
one
about
of them
that?
had more than 38 kills in the series.
Oh, you're saying
Really?
individually from 3. Donnie had 25 first
actually?
map. What did he...
Donnie finished 38 and 41.
Okay, well, they must have
What
gotten...
the-
They must have gotten... Well, I mean, not must have. They actually did get World Star going
They
into
get
these next
chokes
two.
in the next 2 matches.
Yeah, I mean,
that's actually absurd.
we could
though.
go through it and skim through it, but I mean, these rounds, especially in S&D, they were happening so fast.
I'll drop you the link if you want to bring it up. That was the scoreboard from that series, and yeah, that's rough, bro. I don't think I've ever seen one that bad. That looks like a one map like AW scoreboard.
I think there's 2 flip sides to this next map as we watch. One is, we were spending a good portion of the show yesterday talking about FaZe's S&D struggles, and they get a 6-0 clean sweep done in this map. So I guess a good rebound from them in the game mode. And for Vegas, it's, obviously, again, we've talked about the skill differential here. You got to try and balance it out. A little bit of composure. It didn't seem like the composure really was there today for them after that first map.
Now you can see Clay right there. Fucking after the first round, they get ninja defused. The BZ just hops on a bomb. And he kind of loses full a little bit. He almost had the 1v2. It was a good try from Clay because he almost clutched it. Then we get to the next round. Not a BZ Cell. He pulled out the snipe today. And he actually looks really good. What do you guys think about selling him sniping? I actually like him on a snipe because I feel like he'll just play really weird with it. Like a lot of weird angles. He's going to be good with the pistol. And he can always pick up guns and stuff. But, I feel like he's pretty good with this shit. What do you think, Chris?
I was going to say, you know what the sniper reminds me of? It reminds me of like the Ghost sniping. I don't know if I remember correctly, but back in the day, Ghost, the sniper wasn't like a super quick scopy sniper. It was more like the way you would play it was like an op where you would just like hold like angles. You can hold tight angles. You can hold deep angles. And it fits these pre-Emmy players a lot, like Celium. And you'll even see Illy, who's really good with it. And you would think Dashy would run it, like talking about the Optic series a little bit, but like you're seeing players like Illy, Celium using the sniper and thriving because it's kind of like that Ghost sniper where you're just hard holding angles all triggered.
Yep. No, 100%. I think MC was doing a really good job. Ben, I feel like FaZe, they're gonna work good in S&D together once they get their rhythm, because I feel like they have a good balance. They have like a BZ who could be like an entry fragger, Simp backing him up. And then you just have Celium and Slasher, who your 2 ARs just kind of locking down the map. I think they just need to find their rhythm a little bit.
I think today they were a little bit more aggressive. I feel like sometimes, and I felt like at times last year, they just try to play too perfect. And bro, they've got like really disgusting players in their team. Sometimes they just need to, one just needs to go rogue and make plays on the map. And I felt like they did a good job of that today against a team that they definitely more skill.
What did you do? What do you guys think was going on with Vegas today? I mean, they didn't even win a round here in the S&D or the control. Or they didn't win a single round. What do you think happened with them? You think they just fell flat? Come on, let's be honest, right? I know we want to roast Vegas, but in the beginning of the year when they were streaming scrims, they didn't look too bad. You know, they looked all right. It was probably just because of how early it was, maybe. Maybe they were just ahead, you know. Maybe
It's
they
also
were
just hard point. Like, when we see scrims, it's mostly just hard point.
Yeah, very true as well. We're only watching one game mode. Well,
I
two,
think
we watch
they're
controls
still
too.
a decent hard point team, right? Like, that's I mean, they're not terrible, but like, they're still a decent hard point team. I think the big thing is, I don't know if the teams are scrimming on the servers that they play actual matches on, or just like the fairest, which isn't always the case in the CDL setup.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think they're not a 2-3-5 team. I think they're just kind of hard point all-star type of lineup, and yeah, I think that shows in these matches.
I'm surprised though, because I honestly thought a team with like TJ and Proloot, because I know they both have S&D backgrounds. I know Proloot likes to play a lot of Chows in other games. I don't know if he's done much of that this game. I thought they'd be good at search, at least competitive.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
compared to some of the other teams. So I don't know.
They should be 2-2 in search. They tossed that last map against Florida. They should have won that. And they did beat Thieves the first day.
The way a BZ called game in the S&D, Maron.
I don't think they're that bad hypothetically at S&D. I mean, to me, again, I'll keep harping on it with them. It's like, you know, when you play good teams, you're going to split some of these maps, but you can't suck at control. Like, it's going to be a swing for them. And they played 3 control maps so far. If you want to go to the next map, Tom.
Yep, I'm already there.
And they've just been, you know, the Florida one I think was close, but the ones against Thieves and FaZe weren't.
Yeah, and then as we get into the control, we get into a hotel control. This first round, Vegas actually did a pretty good job. They started off the round really good, getting that B point, just getting a clean wipe and able to get some people on that point. They were able to stack it and get it. But it was FaZe who were able to hold on the whole way through. They do such a great job here, just constantly flooding Kitchen over and over again. The amount of pressure that they put on Kitchen. I mean, Haggy, if you want to kind of get into a little bit of kind of why that's good, but you can see how they kind of force those back left spawns and just constantly push it out. It's really annoying to deal with, no? If they're fucking pushing that over and over again with some subs.
Yeah. I mean, if you just flood out this kitchen,
He did it the whole
you're
round.
gonna start spawning them bed. It's very hard. So a lot of people are like under the impression that if you just kind of push out kitchen, that you can almost prevent them from spawning there. But you need to have like a lot more influence than they do to actually force them to spawn bed, which they do now. If you're watching on the stream, one person isn't enough. So it's good to overpressure it, kind of how you would overpressure bed to facilitate that kitchen spawn on the other side.
Yeah. I think right here, once they finally get out, you know, once Vegas gets these kills, especially Clay right here at the 2-piece, like maybe just hold the cross here, you know, like hold an L trigger or like try and get towards point, you know, maybe wait for your team. I think Clay maybe didn't expect the BZ to come off spawn that quick and beat her that fast. Maybe try to get pushed up there. But I feel like they finally got the kills, and then obviously Clay was in a good position. He pushed up and died. And then if I remember correctly, FaZe just ended up winning some more fights here. Simp goes on a big long route. Ben, you called this one out when we were doing the watch party. Yeah. Simp going all the way around, going top cat. He ends up just disrupting their push and flanking them. So FaZe, they go up 1-0 in the defense. And then in the offense, FaZe actually win the offensive round during the listening, and it was a pretty long listening. It was a very good listening. It was very good communication. You kind of see how they broke down the round and won the offense. So let's go on board with Atlanta FaZe and see how they were able to win this offense.
I think that's anything one cut. Up right now?
One's been on me couch, I guess.
Dead.
Nice. No, he's not facing more, I think.
One top. Alright, one chandelier. Dead. Chandelier. I think he's left side broken.
I'm coming on with you. I need your sword, I need your sword. I need it.
He shot me.
One shot, hit by nade.
I can't see him, I can't see him. Ivory mid. I don't have mid, actually.
Yes, store?
I saw you. Standing here. Main, dead. I think, I don't know if I heard one or not.
Could be one cut there.
Double me? Left door, yeah. Clay. Clay, you one cut.
Okay, I bank.
Could be their side one cut.
Hey, it's next door. I'm gonna do a bed here.
You should try to work around here.
Nice. Go around together, okay?
Yeah.
Is it? You want cut?
I don't see anything.
I'm getting to the back.
Loot our bottom thing.
He's in the back. Back left broken. Teach.
Back left? Okay.
Yeah, he's below back left broken.
He's stunned me. He's stunned me. Yeah. John, team back here.
He's caught me dead.
I think good shit.
I'm gonna play our bed.
I'll hit you.
Heard you.
Play our bed also.
Fine shot. Log in broken right now. Fine shot. Get
Top
top.
cat, I think.
Fine shot there.
Okay.
One could be main headed. Yeah, top get Donnie. Dead.
Okay,
Nice
okay.
one. TJ is spawn weak. Still our bed too.
He's that spawn weak. I don't know. He could hit at the back. He's on me main. Clay's main.
No, he's on top
We
bed.
should go around. We should try to go around. Yeah,
I'm gonna keep on our bed.
Well, yeah. Go around. I'm gonna go around. Go around with you. Clay was main.
Top bed.
MC, take your time.
Yeah, I'm in the back.
Broken. One shot. Where? He's broken. Backed up to B2.
One cut.
I main,
Couch is steal. Couch is Donnie.
I'm only slow for responding deep.
I mean,
Back
D back main.
I
Spawn long, bro. There's still one top bed though. Main head.
Couch is dead.
Top bed.
Top bed. We should try to get on this.
I'm getting on it. I'm getting on
I'm
it.
getting a trophy.
I said, bitch.
I'm staying there for bed.
Yeah, stack this. I'm looking top patio. I'm top patio.
I'm watching bottom.
Top patio.
One shot dead.
Can't see top patio.
Middle is weak. Couch is Clay.
Patio dead.
Couch is Clay weak.
Got one. I'm still need to stay on the point.
My spawn bed. Nice, sit down.
And that's gonna do it for the Atlanta FaZe listening. I like how they went on board for full round there. You kind of see how FaZe was able to.
One of the casters had to take a piss break, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a long listening, but I liked it. I mean, sometimes I like when they do the long listenings. You know,
They had some tech issues. I think a really
that was
interesting
the first
thing
offense, by the way, Ben. That I want to add.
watching that map, and we saw some later control rounds on Hotel and other series where we were talking about this. Like, you get in these situations where defense gives up early cap at A, so they hard rotate to B. They get in bed. And if you're the team that's pinching through A and you get into the defensive spawn, I hate watching teams just stand there and they don't hop the point and try and like bait those guys out of bed and try and get picks. Good job from FaZe there to you know, in a disadvantaged situation, work those kills and be able to stack it. Like, I want to see other teams.
Yeah, you basically you're saying just to get them out of their spots, you know, like hop the point, get them out,
situation
make a move.
With London earlier, we'll watch London probably later, where they were in a situation where they had like 4 guys there. They were looking for one dude, and all of them just stood around holding irons, no one hopping in the hill trying to get that guy to peek. So
yeah. So you can see FaZe, they're able to go in and win this one 3-0. We'll take a look at the final scoreboard here. You can see a BZ 17-13, 22-11 from Slasher. He played great today. Simp 19-19, 13-8 for MC, and everybody on Vegas just negative, man. Nobody on Vegas could get anything going. Gentlemen, any final thoughts on the series today, other than FaZe just coming out and just doing what they do?
Time to blow it up.
No way. Pat wants to blow it up already. We'll see what happens with Vegas moving forward. I don't think they're going to blow it up right now. I'm sure they'll probably go to the first event first, and then we'll see what happens, and maybe we'll see it blow it up. But let's get into the next one. We got Optic, Texas going up against the London Royal Ravens. We got Fortress, Hardpoint, Mercado, SD, Hotel Control, Embassy, Hardpoint, and Fortress, Search and Destroy. Chris, we'll start with you. Anything you see going on in the vetoes here? Anything that caught your eye? Again, now no hydro here. No hydro. I think the next map is, or the next series is when we finally see the hydro map. And man, was there a lot of swimming. But go ahead, Chris.
I'm still kind of getting used to this map pool that people are picking. I'm noticing to start to see a trend that Royal Ravens does not mind playing Fortress though. It's been in a couple of their games, and they're not a bad team at it. So, or they're not a bad team at that game mode. So nothing too much about the vetoes that I can really note, to be honest.
Ben, Pat, anything?
Not much.
I've noticed that Optic hasn't been playing a lot of Hotel in their series, but to be fair, London has been pretty good on that map. So we'll remains to be seen. We'll see how the Thieves vetoes go tomorrow. But curious to see if Optic's got some mono vetoes that they're working around right now.
Yeah, but let's get into the map a little bit. We start things off on a Fortress Hardpoint. I mean, I'm going to say this right now. This was an incredible series from start to finish. I mean, these guys were fucking battling it out. It was really exciting to watch. Bro, Scump was having a crazy map, and so was Asum. It felt like they were going back and forth in this one, and this one went pretty, bro, this one went all the way down to the wire. But what are you guys' initial thoughts on the map? I felt like London did a really good job today, considering, you know, I feel like they haven't really played any, like, super top teams yet. I feel like Optic was a good test for them, and they pushed them to their limits today, which is good to see.
I think Asum and Paul, just at points in the map, did a really good job of like staying out and being ratty and forcing flips, which I think was ultimately the demise of Optic and being flipped at one of the P5s, the P1s. And dude, Asum was just a rat on the map. Also, Dash, he was using a red dot
Yeah,
on
what
the
did you guys think
star,
about
and I
that?
don't think that was very good to do.
Well, I ended up
That was-
tweeting
that
out
was
after the show saying, the red dot's fucking ass to not use it, and we got a good laugh out of it. I wonder why. I heard you, I think Shotzi was talking about it during the watch party. He said that he was using it during scrims, and he was doing really well with it. So I guess during the match, it wasn't really hitting the same as it was in practice. But it's cool to see him experiment. If you're going to experiment, you might as well do it now, no? I mean, like pretty early in the season. Which is what I think you said, Ben. But yeah, just to get into the map a little bit. Unless Pat, you got anything so far that you want to say on the first map, or anything about the series at all?
I guess for me, it's mainly just it. Like I guess I'm really impressed about Asim. Like he's had these moments in every COD where he can just like go off in a series and kind of just have his way.
Consistency was like the
but
problem.
Yeah, he wasn't the most consistent player. But so far in almost every single one of the Ravens series, Asim's been frying, like legit frying. So I really hope he can keep up this consistency, because I mean I think he's a huge catalyst for this Ravens team just in general.
Yeah, and then on the other side, I feel like Scump's been that guy for Optic. He's been insane. Like, and I heard Scump talking about it in the interview after the fact, but it's just a game that I feel like fits his play style a little bit. He can kind of roam and get up on those L triggers and pick his spots and just get kills. So it just fits his play style a little bit. And just to go into the map a little bit, like I said, it was pretty back and forth the whole way through. It wasn't until the very end where it was Asim who just went absolutely crazy to somehow take this map from Optic, which is weird because Optic lost both hard points in this series today. Ben, did you have a crazy stat? What was your stat before about Optic and their 2-3-5s? They haven't won 2-3-5, and
well, they didn't win a 2-3-5 last year, and the last I could find was Optic Chicago in like Major 5 in Cold War. The last time that they had 2-3-5, so it was a minute since they've pulled this off with this version of this team.
Yeah, and this is kind of the last P5 here. You can see it was Scump initially who made the play to kind of run by low mid here, like low maps, get through Paul X and just two-piece some really good plays from Scump to get him in there. But then you can see Asim. He comes in from behind, and he's able to clean wipe all of Optic Texas, and they flip these spawns as well. So this is where London was just able to kind of pin him in this trap, and we all know how difficult it is to get out of this fucking trap. I still feel like the best way to get out of it is probably working through maps. But it's never easy, Chris. It's never easy to get out of this.
Yeah, it really depends on if you read the pressure, because ultimately you're kind of at the other team's. You're kind of in the other team's hands. If they decide to stack the side you're hitting on, you're not getting out. If you can find an opening, you might have a chance. So I mean, it's 50-50, but you definitely need the center building. Some people call it maps, some people call it green, but that's like the bare minimum that you'll need every time.
It's just a big hill chain, right? Like from P5 to going back to another rotation to P1. Like if you get them trapped there, I mean, you could chain two hills with ease. The spawns don't change.
Yeah.
So London, they end up coming out. They start the series off hot, man. Asim 38-22 to end this one. You can see the difference between him and his teammates. Paulie had a good map as well. Paul X 31-25. On the other side, it was Scump 30-22, but it wasn't enough. Rest of his teammates negative. So any final thoughts on that one, gentlemen, before we go into the S&D, which ended up being a Mercado?
4,500 damage. The average in the lobby was damn near 2.5k. I mean, Paul had a little bit more than everybody else, but 4,500 damage is a lot in this game.
Yeah, and then even when we get into the Mercado S&D, he came out hot and found the first blood here in the first round. And I like the strat call from London here in the first round. Get the blood and wrap, right? Use your numbers, wrap all the way around. They end up bringing this one all the way back towards B. Asim's going to get that bomb down. They end up just holding and starting off hot, but it didn't last long. Did not last long. Optic, they came out, and once they were tied up at 2-2, Illy hit a 3-piece snipe, and Optic didn't lose since. Maybe a momentum switch. I'll obviously bring up the 3-piece snipe now, but what did Optic do differently today? I feel like Optic's S&D looks sharp today, man. I feel like this is a game mode. If they can get this down, they're going to be a scary team. Pat, we'll start with you. What did you think about the search? The Mercado S&D, Optic ran away with this.
Yeah, I mean, Optic's always been a solid S&D team, though. It's more just that consistency factor of like closing out those rounds, and again capitalizing on their first blood. So I don't think they've always been good at S&D in my opinion. It's just been a consistency problem for them, which I think they're putting a lot of emphasis on this year.
Mercado's very A heavy. I feel like too. I know Fortress is kind of one dimensional, right? Like everybody goes to that A bomb site. and we haven't seen a B plan yet. Here's Dashy with that trolley gun. But I feel like even in Mercado, we see sometimes teams they'll hit B on this map. Sometimes, you know, we saw it in the first round. They'll like full hit it, but I feel like you gotta wait till you have trophies. No, Chris, when you hit that A site. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to hit that A site without trophies because you just get fucking slammed on the fucking cross.
Yeah, there's some big pre-nades that you can hit if you know where to throw them. But in general, I think Optic are just pretty good at straight up S&D maps, as I like to call them, the ones where there's not too many variants in strategy. Because usually the teams that are very good at that stuff, you can basically just be like, I'm more talented than you as a player, as a team, and just beat people down in those S&Ds because there's not very much creativity
Basically
or a lot of
Fortress.
preparation. Yeah, or a
What
lot
we
of
were talking about.
and that's what they're good at. Like Fortress, they're good at Mercado. They're going to be good at those maps, and you run into a lot of maps like that in Modern Warfare 2 right now. So I mean, I expect the Optic to be a pretty good S&D team this year.
Yeah, and then as we get into the round, this is a 2-2 round. This is where Ender just kicks up with the snipe. He ends up getting the quick scope onto Paul X here too, which was a crazy shot. Looking at the final kill cam here. Check out this shot from Illy. That's going to send Optic up 3-2. And then after this is just where Scump started taking off and making some plays, man. See Scump on your mini map. He's number 5, big 2-piece on the A bomb site. Not only is he popping entries and popping pieces, but, you know, he ends up backing up and getting his bomb down as well. So not only is he getting kills, but he's getting those bombs down. Yeah, any final thoughts on the map, gentlemen? It seems like Optic were pretty comfortable in this one. I'll skim through it and kind of show how they were able to win some of these rounds. But any final thoughts on this map? And anything you thought maybe London could have done better, or think maybe Optic was just doing a little bit better in London in this one? Ben, we'll start with you. What do you think? I see you pondering over there.
I mean, I think a lot of the play I was seeing from London was whether or not ASIM got a blood or not, which I felt like it was dictating whether or not they can work their numbers or not. And Optic's been S&D's been a bright spot for them outside of, you know, them getting smoked by Rocker. So, and I'm surprised considering, and we haven't really talked a lot about it. Like, Optic hasn't had a lot of consistent practice over the last few weeks. They've had a number of players get COVID, and so, you know, I think Ant wasn't even in the studio with them. So, good on them to outside of that to keep grinding S&D and going off to a hot start in the game mode.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Shotzi was sick, right? Shotzi was really sick with COVID or something. Was it him? I think he was talking about it in a podcast that it was like fucking terrible.
Yeah.
You know, COVID is strong, man. I when I had it, it was bad,
Well,
bro.
I think Inder got COVID at some point in the last few weeks. Like they just had a number of people sort of in and out of different. I mean, it's
Or maybe it
flu
was
season,
Ender. Yeah, it was
COVID season.
Ender, I
No,
think.
and 100% COVID because we were talking to him earlier. He's just getting back into form after dealing with COVID. But they've had a number of players go through, you know, those issues, and obviously contributes to inconsistent practice. This is about the worst time of the year, you know, to get that because everybody's kind of in a sprint to get ready for Major 1. So tip a lot of them, despite all of that.
Speaking of that,
to be good at this game mode. Go ahead.
people better stay, you know, keep the 6 feet at Raleigh. I'm not trying to get sick.
No way, Pat. No way. You gotta wear gloves, Pat. And you gotta wear a
but
mask. You gotta wear a
I
mask.
don't feel like getting sick this holiday season, bro.
What's the shit that everybody drinks? Everybody used to get me. Ben, what did you always get me at the
Oh, the
event?
emergency?
Emergency?
Like,
Yeah, the
yeah,
emergency. But taking a look at the final score for Scump, 8-2, 8-6 from Shoxy. They had a good map. Ender, obviously, with the snipes, was doing his thing. On the other side, everybody negative except for Paul X out of London. So, obviously, Optic with a pretty comfortable map. Any final thoughts on this one, gentlemen, before we go into the hotel control? This one was fucking crazy.
No, but move on to the next map.
All right, let's get it. First map to get into it, it's London who ended up clutching the offense. This was fucking crazy. I don't know where, and Chris, I know you were saying this during the watch party. This game is very punishing, man. You got to be careful. There could be 10 seconds left, and you can't go 4 dead. Especially here in control, because this can swing at any second. You can kind of see how London was able to do it. They all come off spawn. They're kind of working through couches in mid-map. And it starts with one. It's Shots who's going to get picked out by P1. Scump ends up falling as well. And they just, every player from Optic just dies one by one by one. They go a clean 4 dead, because I think Asim picks up Illy here. And then boom. Once that happens, they have Optic instantly flipped into those back spawns, and London was able to clutch up the first offense. Good place from London. Anything you think Optic could have done differently there? Or you think just losing their ones kind of costed them?
Not die at once, and then I think Illy just needed to kind of like play his life better in bed. If he probably wins that 1v1 in bed, or just like hides in a better spot and comes out late, he probably has a higher chance of stopping the hill, because the bed is just the most important part of this entire B setup. Period.
You said you want my mans to play better in bed?
Yeah, he needs to play his life better in bed.
Yo.
Yes, Pat. He
Yo,
does.
what the? Hey,
He does.
yo.
Christian's on some shit recently, bro.
And then we hop into the next round. This is where Optic go on the offense. This right here, Optic was actually able to get a reverse sweep here in the control. They went down 0-2 and ended up winning 3 straight. But just so you're around here that I think they probably could have won, I would have liked to see a stack here coming in from Optic here. I would have liked to see them try and get on the point. Because see Shotzi, he gets 2. He ends up trying to stay alive. He actually did really well here, just being a fucking nuisance. But there was one play here where I just felt like Optic kept getting kills and they weren't stacking the point. Even right here, look at all the kills that they're getting. If Optic just jump on a point here, I feel like it would put some panic into London, no? Where they just start tweaking and start running at you. Because if that point goes up quick, they don't have time to hit these routes mid and go all the way around. And even if they do that, you can watch it from hill. Kind of like what FaZe did, right, against Vegas when Slasher stacked the point with his teammate, and they just kind of looked at all the lanes they had to pick up while sitting on the point. I think teams are going to have to be a little bit more selfless in control if they want to start winning offenses consistently. So maybe a stack there would have helped with Optic.
I think as soon as whoever was top bedroom saw the people crossing like towards mid, he should have known that they were going to basically try to work it from mid or like flanking the bedroom. If he would have gone the point and realized, oh wow, none of them are hitting here, they could have probably prepared the flank a little bit more. If they even needed it, it would have put more pressure on them to hit that flank quickly, and I think they would have just capped it outright, to be honest.
Yeah, they would have capped it.
There's a lot of early game confidence, right, in trusting those stacks and being able to hold a setup. We saw in last game, like especially on like Tuscan controls, how difficult on one of the points it was to stack, and a lot of teams are like PTSD from that. But I feel a little bit on B. There's a lot of ways that you could like stack the hill and watch the crosses, especially anyone pitching from middle. So I think teams are gonna get a little bit more comfortable, and this map's gonna continue to be a little bit.
Back in this game's just so OP, bro. If you have a trophy, and you get a nice clean wave of kills, just stack it, bro. Stack the fucking trophy.
Do we know what the official time is for like each increment that you stack?
It's a 45-second
total
cap with one human being. I don't know how much the multiplier goes up. I don't know if it's like an even amount per, but it goes up quick.
Turtle said, and I don't know if I can believe this, that Easy Max said it's 5 seconds with 4 people, 4 people gets 5 seconds.
I mean, that's fast as fuck.
I don't know if I can believe that.
I mean, it could be, bro. I mean, bro, with 4 people, it's quick. Like, it is very, very quick.
I want to say it's like 10 to 15 seconds to cap the entire thing from 0 with everyone on it.
Maybe was it 5 seconds per tick, or was it, or was it?
He just said cap, so I don't know.
I don't know.
There's no shots 5 seconds.
All I will say, I mean, we could test it, but it definitely, bro, it goes up quick, man. I mean, if you get 3 or 4 people on there, it goes up so fast that teams don't even have time to take routes. Like, they just have to just hit you straight on because they literally can't. They don't have enough time. They're just gonna cap the point. So stacking is definitely big. The faster you stack after you want to make use of your kills, right? Like when you get kills, you want to make use of them. So we'll see what happens.
4 stack is 3 seconds per Easy Max. So I'm assuming that's per tick. So 3 seconds per tick.
3 seconds per tick? Holy shit.
That's crazy, actually.
Yeah, that's like
fast as fuck.
What the?
9 seconds total.
That's crazy.
9-second cap? What?
And then just to get back into the map a little bit.
If you start with 4 people in the very beginning.
Check out the plays here from Illy and Scump. They were the 2 guys that were able to get Optic into this point. Started with Illy up top with a couple kills with that scar, and then the King does the rest. He just hits the point, gets 2, ends up pushing off the point, finding another one, pushing London back. This is where Optic were able to send it into an overtime. On top of that, they were able to secure the defense going into the final round, and they were able to hold on strong pretty easily in this one. Pretty usual control round. London to get the 8 point and just really struggle to get this B point. I think it was Illy and Dashy who were doing a really good job just staying alive bedroom this whole entire round. They were just being a nuisance, staying alive. You can see it in Bruce's interactions. He didn't have to do much, but what he was doing was super valuable. You know, just staying alive, being pushed up.
Can we go back to before London died, before they were reset to this spot? Because I think if I was looking at the minimap correctly during the watch party, I think there was an opportunity where London had some decent map control, and they had an opportunity to go back further. Go back further.
Yeah,
it's earlier than it's. I don't remember exactly the time. I wish I had the note. I thought we would have already seen this.
Well, there's a play here where Trey's pushed up in a base, if this is what you're talking about.
A little bit. It was right before this.
Yeah, there's a couple of them actually pushed up. You got Trey who's pushed up.
Okay, right here. Look at this.
Asim.
Look at where they are on the map.
Yeah.
You have one guy in bedroom with the kill, one guy off spawn, one guy in their spawn, one guy by B, and they don't hop the point.
Yeah.
But I want to see. Actually, kind of want to see how this plays out.
Yeah,
after they get this kill.
I don't know what they did here, but even right here, like at this point, I feel you just play a corner.
Touch the point. Somebody touch the point. Stop the clock. Stop the clock. Stop the clock. Please, somebody stop the clock. Number 3. Number 2. Anyone, stop the fucking clock. Hello.
And then they end up getting shot in the back. They end up getting shot from bed.
Yo, just get behind. It's not hard. Get behind the box. Hide from bedroom. Watch your mid. You have their side. Stop the fucking clock, please.
We've talked a lot over the years on this show. Offense on control. You want to make that defensive team panic. They panic. Their timings are messed up. They're going to single chow you. To Chris's point, you get on that and they panic a little. It's just very comfortable now, right? If you're not on the point, they're just going to work the picks. So you got to make it difficult.
Yeah, look at the scoreboard.
You have to make them push out of bed.
Another 30 bomb from Scump. 28-27 from Shots. Everybody from Optic doing their thing. Dash, Brucey, Big Brucey in there doing their thing. On the other side, Asim, another big map. 31-26. Everybody else negative except for Treyboy. 25-23 just wasn't enough for them. Looked like they got outslayed pretty bad in this one. Everybody positive on the side of Optic. But any final thoughts on the map number 3 before we go into the next one, which ended up being an Embassy Hardpoint? Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
I thought this is winnable for London. I think it ended up kind of, well, I think could have been a 3-1. I think they kind of threw a little bit, and this ended up going to a game 5. But, that was I think going back for London, that was a tough L.
Yeah, and then we get into the Embassy Hardpoint. It was London, who I think just got into such a good start, and we know how crazy it is when teams go up this early. I feel like if you can get up 80 or 90 points off the rip, all you need to do is stay ahead of the game, stay ahead of your rotations. Just make sure you really don't troll. Just stay disciplined. Would you guys agree with me on that one? That London just came out and just fucking. They put him in the Embassy trap, pretty much. And Chris, I know you were talking about it a little bit in the watch party, but you could really funnel teams on this map.
Yeah, they were just outplaying them, plain simple. Nasty had a good map. Asim continued to have a really good map, and I mean, it was just a clinical performance in the HPs today.
Listen, I'm gonna say it, bro. I need to see Asim's computer. He might have been hacking this map. No bullshit.
No way. You think he was hacking? I mean, did you see the play at the end? I mean, well, I'll obviously go
when he
through it.
Seth in the window when Seth was shooting at him, and he turned and drop shotted him.
Yeah, let's go on board with London. During the listening. Let's go on board with London and see how they were commenting this one, because they looked really good in this map. So let's go on board with the London Royal Ravens.
Close right, he's there. One's low right, shotty, low right. One's on me in PD. He's deep half wall. Okay. One's on me in PD. I'm dead. Nice, that's one. That's fine. Trust me, get this fucking laundry. I can't. Laundry. He's lying down in laundry looking orange. He's lying down in laundry looking orange. There's 2 there, they spawn laundry now. One more. Nice, get time, Sim. Yeah, they should be spawning.
Hey, Tracy, get this fucking time. He's got 0 seconds.
Rapping across the new. One's already back pickup. Back pickup. I got one to do. One more back pickup. I got both. Nice. Okay, I'm trying to dive to pick up. Probably gonna chase me their door. I retreat. I'm at their door. They're back PD me. He's wide. He's one dead.
Wow. And that's going to do it for the London Royal Ravens. Listen, they sounded good, man. A lot of energy. They seemed like they were working well together, and you could kind of see how London was able to roll away with it. Let's go on board with Optic Texas as well and see how they were sounding. Back-to-back listenings.
Xbox. I'm one shot. I'm saying downtime, guys. Yo, he's Xbox. Probably Paul. First guy. Xbox. He's going orange. You're from Xbox on me. I'm going top. I'm rowing. Yo, already new. One guy's popping new. Pop. He's just holding. You're one from pop. I don't see that pop. I'm just shooting downtime. Last guy definitely rode or some shit. Yeah. Let's have pop on you. Two deep up. The thing is top PC on the block. Top PC, absolute. I need it. I shot. He's blocked my shot. I'm coming with the nade. Take your time. Keep on it. I'm coming with the nade. I'm trying to shoot him on cross. Go on. Top PC dead. Top PD hurt. Okay, AC again. It's all one shot. Watch out AC. It's only one AC.
And just mute the listening right there. That was a big play from Trey Zero right there. Big 2-piece from him. It seemed like that was the break that Optic probably needed to maybe get back into this one. But
I
good
think,
plays there.
Tom, watching back this map, and we were talking about a bit on the watch party as well. I think a little bit of adjustment Optic needs to make tomorrow when they play Thieves, and especially going to Major 1 is I think they can do a better job kind of playing ahead of the game. I know they're in a little bit of a blunder on this map. They're playing from behind, and they're kind of trying to
not relying on breaks all the time, like not constantly relying on
they're
that.
Obviously, trying to get as much scrap time as possible, but like they have really talented players that can play aggressive, play cruddy spots, and then make explosive plays off that. You've got ARs that can just absolutely solo hold a lane and get a massive squad wipe. I just would like to see this team play a little bit more ahead. It would be, I think, make their hardcore game a little more consistent for sure.
I think what Ben's trying to say is that Optic need to reset a little bit more and like maybe chalk like hills a little bit like towards the tail end. I think they hit a lot of scrap. And it's good to pressure the hill, but you don't want to pressure with too many people because then you end up flipping out. Basically, there's two things that you want to do when you're down in a hardpoint match. Well, you want to basically full rotate. Okay. And when you full rotate and you start absorbing the next hill, the other team is going to obviously start pushing that. And you want to try to make them make a mistake in transition to the next hill, which causes a chain in your favor. If you try to force, scrap time too much, you're going to miss out on opportunities to get a full rotation and hold the new hill. So that's like the margin. That's the place you want to like wait for the other team to make a mistake.
And this is the play here for Mason that you were talking about, Pat, just roaming, right? Like bottom orange is kind of bouncing around. They can't seem to keep track of him. He ends up getting a clean 4 wipe, kills the whole team. And then I don't even know how the hell he got this 2-piece right here. They didn't spectate him once. And that was with a Vaznev as well.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
That was with a Vaz as well. So really good shots.
Boston Breach might be calling his line soon.
Who, Asim?
Yeah.
For what? You think he's hacking?
Yeah, they're a group of hackers.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's like their gimmick. That's like their gimmick. Yeah. I forgot that's like, but I do like that. It's good out of you, Pat. It's good. That's good work from you.
I mean, you had to explain the joke after he told it, but it's all good.
No, I understood.
Yeah, only because it was a high IQ joke. So Tommy got it. I'm sure there's a handful in chat that got it as well, but it's a high IQ joke, Ben.
What the fuck, man? You don't want to see Pat flourish, bro, with his jokes. Ben, I'm still because I'm still waiting for your joke, Ben. You said that you had a joke and then you had to wait for the right time, and
that joke will be used once I have a good opportunity.
No way, dude. When's the opportunity gonna happen?
When the opportunity arises, Tom, you just gotta stay patient.
Bro, I've been staying so patient, Ben. I've been waiting for this joke.
Patient a lot longer, bro.
No way. Let's take a look at the final scoreboard: 35-26 from Asim, 33-25 from Nasty. Great map from Nasty as well. Everybody from London doing their thing. Zero, Paul X. On the other side, even Optic. I feel like they were kind of doing their thing, but they all got outslayed. They were all negative from Optic, Texas. So London stayed ahead of the game. They went up to a big lead. I felt like the map was pretty comfortable. And then we get into map number 5, and this was the Optic show. This is where Optic, again, just went crazy in the search and destroy. And we know how this map is. It's just a straight A-fest. Listen, this first round, though, from Optic was an absolute troll from Optic. This is I don't know what they were doing this first round. Shotzzy, they had the A-bomb control. Like they had A. They did the hard part. You can see Shotzzy there now, right? Like they get pushed up onto the docks here to get onto the site. I'm guessing they're just going to plant it. Shotzzy ends up going a little bit too rogue here, man. He ends up trying to fucking chow this guy on the stairs to the Vaznev. He ends up dropping a bomb, and Optic don't even have time to get this bomb down. With 3 seconds left to go, it's a 2v2. Ender makes it a 2v1, but Optic don't get the plant down. And maybe a little bit of a troll, but one thing I wanted to talk about in this next round was this plant spot from London. Is there, Chris, and I want to ask you, is there a reason why he's planning there? Is there like a spot where you could see it for like a weird spot that we don't know about, or a weird wall bang or something? Like, I don't know. Something just, I feel like there might be.
Where Ravens are trying to, where? Sorry?
Yeah, look at where Paul X planted the bomb from. Look, you can see it from here. You can see it right here on the right side of your screen. He's planting right here, like to the front right of the bomb. You can even see it from here too, like the front right side of the bomb. I don't know. Maybe top maps. Somebody's saying top maps.
Yeah, maybe in maps, or he may be setting up number 3 to go on like a pinch late or something. I don't know. Probably top maps though.
Yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting play. But a little bit of a weird plant spot. But it was. You
can see it from around here. Right, well, I mean,
but then it was just weird because Cartier was left in the back looking for the clutch, and it's like, I mean, this is clutchable if it's planted for you. You know, it makes these clutches a lot easier. He just, they just defused the bomb from the front, so it was just weird to see them plant front when they were set up from behind. You know.
Yeah.
And in this next round, this is just to me a perfect S&D round. This is what I feel like. This is just a perfect offense on Fortress. You hit A, You get the bomb down right away, and you just back up. You can see the bomb from the stairs. There's multiple head glitches back there. Just camp corners in your mid building, in art, and just camp buildings on the back. You know all the head glitches. You know all the head glitches back there. I feel like if you just camp back there and just hold, which is exactly what Optic did here, it's a pretty easy win. London has to retake, and they kind of just have to run at the spawn. What do you guys think about that? That round right there.
I mean, it's simple. It's simple as it's gonna get. It's the best way to play
but
it.
people don't do that every round. Sometimes I feel like people are complicating it.
I think some people are just like afraid to give up map control, and they feel like they're just not confident in their like holds, and they're probably just overthinking it because they're just like, oh, we don't want to turtle, or spawn. People have this obsession with not turtling, but I mean, in Search and Destroy, you got the bomb down, like you may as well just turtle. Like they have to defuse.
Yeah, and then we get into. Go ahead, Ben.
One more thing on that, like to the point about the turtling, it's like. Bro, the headies on the back of this map on that truck are super snakeable. And like it is just hard to chow that heady, bro. Like someone just sitting there just snaking back and forth. Yeah,
and in this round, we get into the 1-2 round. This is the 1v2 from Seth. You can see how he's able to get the first kill. It starts with Asim there. He gets taken out. You can see Scump. He's just a sneaky little beaver, able to jump out the window and get out of there, make it a 1v1 situation. So good plays out of Seth. And you can see why I don't understand, bro. Just go B. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, there is nobody beat Chris. We were talking about it, Pat. I don't know if you've been watching, but people don't look at B. And if they do, sometimes they only have one guy over there, especially mid-round, like once the round kind of plays out. Like, I would have liked to see Paul just go B here, just plant.
Listen, Tom, it's never going to happen. There's been
Why,
71
though? Why?
rounds
It's
on
wide
Fortress,
open. It's wide. It's like people don't want to play
plants
it.
at B.
I thought it was G8. I started
1v1.
asking the pros if they G8 the site. Is it G8? Did they G8 the B site? Because, bro, I don't understand. This was a perfect scenario. You knew where Scump was. He was in art building. You pick up the bomb mid-map, go B plant. You can hide anywhere. Top plat, mid building. You can fucking camp a corner gate.
It almost happened once. Remember, somebody went for it. Remember?
What are the odds?
What series was that? Somebody picked him off right before?
There's no surprise that this is probably the worst S&D map. People say it's boring to watch. It's pretty boring to play. I think this will be the first one to go. But real quick, what are the odds we see an actual B plant before the map gets taken out of the rotation?
I think it's likely someone's gonna be in one of these situationals in YOLO, bro. It's gonna we've gotten close. We've gotten close. We've gotten some 1v2s where they do end up going B and someone's just coming off the A site and they get killed because someone's watching across from like top maps or something.
Yeah.
So we've like almost gotten in that situation because they don't want to completely turtle, but like, bro, like I
if we see no B plat, that would be nuts before the map gets removed.
If we see one, or wait, which one would you rather do, Chris? If we see one, or if we don't see any at all, you shave your head live on the flank.
Oh,
whoa, chill! What the hell? No. Listen, that would put a target on my back. People, there'd be people like, I may as well go B. Like, I'm not.
Everybody's trying to get me to shave my head too. What is it? Whatever.
Yeah, get a mustache, Tom.
Nah, not the mustache. I look like Luigi in this motherfucker.
Tom, how about this? The Vegas Legion win Raleigh. We shave your head live on the flank at Raleigh.
If the Vegas Legion wins Raleigh?
Yeah, they win the event. We shave your head live.
Okay. I'm down, but it's not me. It's Ben Genesine that was shaving Ben's head.
What's the other side of this bet? I'm not just taking a bet where it's all downside for me.
Yeah, that's true. There needs to be another side.
How about this, Ben? If Vegas Legion win Raleigh, shave your head live on the flank.
Yeah.
And if
they don't win,
you get $100.
Yeah, you get $100.
You get $100, Ben.
That's solid odds, Ben.
I'll take that bet.
Oh shit, it's good odds. It's good odds from Ben Genesine.
It's free cash.
Hopefully,
bro.
So you're down, Ben? You're down?
I'm down, bro.
Oh man, if Vegas wins, man,
we're doing completely bald. Like we're bicking it.
Yeah,
like
yeah. No, I got you, bro.
And then I love the aggression from Optic in that last round, especially Scump jumping top art, just literally just pouncing on London, winning round by round. And this last round, it's Ender Illy with the collateral to close out the game. I thought that was pretty cool. Just to close it out with a collateral is not too bad. Chris, Pat, what are you guys texting your girlfriends over there? What the fuck is going on?
I'm just
what kind of stats you got? What kind of stats you got over there?
I just gave you the best stat about 71
You got the best
rounds
stats.
on
You do got the best stats, Pat. You do.
And I have a comparison here. Garrison had one A plant in 52 rounds before it got taken out. So they did get an A plant on Garrison S&D before it was removed.
Ooh,
So,
we got,
I mean,
we
we're
got
kinda
1-8
due.
play. Got 1-8
we're
play
kind
on
of due. We're kind of
Garrison.
well, yeah. I mean, we got one on Garrison before it got removed, so we're due for one on Fortress before it gets removed.
Listen, Tom, my bad.
Still waiting for it.
I'm just a little sleepy after today because, bro, the amount of fortresses we saw today and we're about to get to in the next series was criminal.
Oh.
This should not be a thing, dude.
Well, yeah, we can hop into it and just show you guys kind of what Chris is talking about. But to kick things off, we got a Fortress Hardpoint. We got a Fortress S&D, a Fortress Control. And we got a Hydro Hardpoint, which was,
Lord.
we haven't seen Hydro. Every team has been vetoing it, so to see Hydro is pretty cool. And then MSC S&D. Kick things off. New York Subliners going up against the Boston Breach. Go ahead, Chris.
This is the map set from hell. You get 3 fortresses, one of every game mode. Then you get the Michael Phelps map, and then you get the Embassy S&D, which is like one-dimensional as hell.
Listen, I gotta quickly shout out Ben. I am holding your $100. Shout out to Daniel Buentello. I think that's how you say your last name. He's got me. I got $100 right now in my Cash App in that I will send to you if Legion don't win.
Yeah, I
is
like
easy
that.
Cash, bro.
I
Easy
like
cash.
that. Pat already got the $100 from somebody. Like,
Yeah, I already got it.
Jesus, shout
I'm
out
holding on to
to
it.
what was his name? Daniel. Shout out to Daniel, man.
Yeah, Daniel Buentello. I think I don't know how to say it.
Wintello. Shout out to Daniel Wintello.
No, Buen with a B.
Oh, Bentello.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, listen, let's get into the match. We got the New York Subliners going up against the Boston Breach. Chris, we were talking about this a little bit in the watch party. This map was a fucking free-for-all blender, mix fest, fucking flood, trade. This shit was nuts. They were battling it out. This one, it went all the way down to the wire. Actually, we got to listen in from the New York Subliners. Let's tune in. I like how Paco's been really leading the comms in some of this stuff, man. His English has gotten really good, so let's tune in.
Top rocks. Take your time. We can hit rocks. I'm looking at rocks. Yeah, make sure you hold here. Rocks push. This one mid. Yeah, one guy's open.
I don't see rocks.
I don't see the rocks. One shot green. Bottom mark. Bottom mark, guys. Two in the back. I got one. Bottom mark. He's 15 secrets upstairs.
I got that.
Upstairs dead.
Nice. Okay, one's back.
I'm pushing.
Backside time and hill. There's 2 times.
P5 dead.
Nice, nice.
Get to.
They're gonna spawn back.
I don't see the time. Laying down, dead.
I'm getting left. I'm getting
I'm telling.
Have gate.
One. The big bottom mark. Okay.
I'm holding left, guys.
I'm holding bottom mark. One to the back. One bottom green.
Yo, back P2 top rocks. 2 back P2.
No, yo, he got me single. I have a precision here too.
Okay, I'm holding left.
Yo, go on time. I have a trophy. I got you. I have a trophy on time. I have a trophy. We have 2 trophies now. Yo, watch left. I can watch your green, okay? Watch left. Okay. I will.
I hear him. He's on the awning.
Yeah. I have you green. Okay? Don't even show yourself from green.
And that's gonna do it for the list. I just like how Paco is just like kind of telling people what to do. You know, like, yo, they're spawning here. Yo, make sure we're watching this. Push off hill. Do this. It's cool to see from Paco. It's not easy, man. It's not easy to do what he's doing.
Because, you know, look, he's not a natural English speaker. Listening comprehension is also like really hard, not if you're not a natural English speaker, because you got to make split second decisions in this game. I think for Paco, that's a great listening and like some good copium from the New York fans that he's really kind of bridged some of those soft skills. And I think it really showed in their gameplay today.
Yeah, Pat, what did you think? Hearing to the comms, seeing Paco do his thing. I mean, he was different today. He played incredible.
I think the thing is here is like obviously Paco is insanely talented. That's never been in question. I know I had called out this roster and potentially his contract because I didn't think that they have enough talent to win. Obviously, they came out hot today. He had a superstar performance. I think he pretty much fried the entire series.
And I think the whole squad has been looking pretty good. P-Dog Priesta's been playing like Priesta. He's been looking like himself.
I think it's a consistency thing as well with this roster. I mean, I know they're new, so it's probably going to take a little time to get into form. But yeah, I mean, I think this is a great match for them to come away with. But I just hope that we can continue to see the consistency. I mean, I kind of feel like Breach kind of threw this one away.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, Breach won this map, but
they won
the series. The series.
Yeah. Hydra and Kismet. When these guys are playing like this is gonna be hard.
The bulldog,
duo to
man.
beat.
It's the bulldog.
I think the M4 getting GA definitely did this team a favor because you're gonna get to see those 2 players shine in this type of game. But the Hydra in general, yeah, guy's a monster. And Kismet, dude, Kismet was doing his thing all series. I'm gonna give him a little woof because he was frying.
Damn. I don't know what the fuck happened here. This gunfight looked trolly, bro. This gunfight right here, because this was a big gunfight. This is like a rotational gunfight. If Skies pops up and just kills Reese, he's reloading. And then Priesta comes in and picks up Skies' trade if he goes down. New York might be able to hold on to this. But it was Boston who was able to secure these back spawns, work some of these trades, and they were able to win this first map. They ended up clean wiping. They called the streaks in. Big plays coming out of Reese Vivid and Boston. They end up going up 1-0 in the series, 35-23 from Hydra, 31-28 from Kismet. The swing power was there for New York, but it was a very back and forth game. It was Boston who came out on top, 34-31 for Vivid. Really good map coming out of Big Reese doing what he does. Any final thoughts on the map? I thought it went pretty back and forth the whole way through. These guys are just battling out rotations, just kind of flip-flopping the whole way. But you guys got any final thoughts before we head into the next one?
Just to show some
Vivid
love
just
to
saved them at the end of this game.
Yeah, just to show some love to Reese. He literally bailed them out of this map.
Yeah, really good plays coming in from Reese Vivid. As we hop into the next one, we hop into a Fortress Search and Destroy. Obviously, we got Fortress 3 maps in a row. You can already see Haggy rubbing his eyes some mono. We gotta watch this fucking map again.
Hey, I'm chilling. I'm awake.
We hop in to the 2-1 round. It was New York who went up a little bit early, but I thought this was a very clean round coming in from the NYSL. Kind of see how they were able to do it. They're on the offense. They kind of slow play. I like the corner checks from Paco here. I thought Reese was in a pretty good credit spot right here. Did not expect NYSL to pick this up. So just really good heads up play coming out of New York here to make sure that nobody is able to sneak onto this side. I thought Reese, maybe Chris, you were saying if he was standing up, maybe he might have been able to strafe and get a kill there.
Yeah, if he was standing up, I think he could. He probably would have been a better, odds at winning it. But the reason he proned, if you can't tell, was because he wanted to hide behind the gallows, so he wasn't being seen from the door if they opened it up. So, I mean, he had to pick his poison.
And then this round is where the Ninja Diffuse comes in. I don't know if Reese messed up the plant spots. You can see where they're planning for. I think Reese was trying to get an angle to where he could see the bomb from mid steps. But check this out. Reese ends up getting one, and it was Kismet who ends up stretching that bomb defuse. And I guess Vivid maybe messed up the stretch. Did he mess it up? Or did Kismet just, like, re-stretch the stretch on the defuse? Like, what happened there?
Wait, one more time? Sorry.
I got you, bro.
I have to rewatch it.
We killed fucking Priesta here. It's a 1v1 situation, or 2v1 situation. They don't check the bomb. Did he fuck up the plant, or
I think he fucked up the plant. Yeah, it needed to be it needed to be more off to the side, but also he kind of stretched it away from the doorway.
He went sideways on it.
That's a good heads up play out of Kismet, bro. Because I don't think they knew where he were. Maybe it's because we're
fucked up and stretched.
Yeah, no,
a little bit of both. A little bit of both.
So New York, they go up 4-1, and this is where it starts to fall apart. It just absolutely collapses for the New York Subliners going into this search and destroy, and it started right here. You can see it's a 2v2 situation, and Tony gonna get a clean 2-piece. They're gonna line up for him. I think there was a team kill in there. Tony ended up finding 2 on a round. Big plays coming out of Mr. Methods himself. It was Boston who bounced back a couple rounds here. They tie it up at 4, and then in this round, I thought we were gonna see a B plant here maybe from Boston. It ended up not happening. There's some fights going down in the middle of the map. I would have liked to see just, maybe Reese just laid a bomb here. It was Tony who ended up getting another kill mid-map, but you can see New York. They end up putting a lot of pressure over there towards that A side. New York, they worked the kills. Instead of planting the bomb, they ended up just closing out the round with some kills on the offense. So good work working out some kills there. And then this round was hectic. The 4-5 round. A lot of trades were going down here. Trophies are flying. This was pretty much just a 4v4. Let's hit the A bomb site. Tacks are flying. Nades, stuns, trophies. And Paco ends up jumping out of this doorway here. I think he didn't realize this guy's in the corner. He ends up checking it. I think he ends up going down. But this was just really good teamwork out of New York Subliners to work some trades, work some crossfires, and end up pushing this to around 11. Kind of see how this all plays out. Hydra's gonna jump out. He goes a little crazy. Nero, he's ended up picking up the kill, but here comes just the fucking stack from the New York Subliners. And I'll tell you what, man, this head glitch is not really that good, man. That deck right there.
No, it sucks.
Yeah, I feel like it's terrible. Those wall bangs are kind of tough to deal with. And then we get into the round 11, and Paco gets kind of stuck here. The streaks come down. Yeah, Pat, we'll let you go on board with this one, but maybe a little bit of a mishap from Paco there, as he just he gets stuck there. I think he fucking face plants.
They record all player cams, right, Ben?
I don't know if they record all the POVs, but they have most of them. Yeah.
I would love to see what angle he took when he hit this, because yeah, he just dove straight into the
I think
wood.
he tried to do those, like, you know those dolphin dives that like Shotzi does when you dive and like look to get info.
Yeah.
And he kind of just like fucked up his dive.
You wonder what he crashed into? He was diving in the back of the gallows or whatever you want to call them, but he hit the staircase.
The wood, yeah.
Yeah,
like
because
sideways
if he does that on the other end, he wouldn't have, when he wouldn't have got stuck because there's no stair there. But on that end, the stairs are right there, so he just had to move further back because he did it from the doorway. The doorway's a lot more moved forward than the stage.
Yeah, 11-5 from fucking Big Tony. 11-7 from Big Wake. So really good map coming out from Big Wake and Tony, the two ARs for the Boston Breach. Any final thoughts before we head into the next one, gentlemen? We're hopping into a fucking fortress control. Any final thoughts on the S&D? Anything you think anybody could have done better? Any thoughts at all?
Yeah, I got one. It's gonna take me a second to get it up on the broadcast though.
No worries, do your thing.
You want to fill until then? I thought for Boston, this was a little bit of a come down, kind of back to earth sort of series for them. Almost battled back, I think, in the last S&D as well. But this was a good work from them. I thought this series was over after they made the comeback in the S&D.
Not me.
But New York had other plans and made this series is probably one of our best ones we've seen so far.
I mean, I think that's 100% true, Ben. Just so, maybe to humble them a little bit, maybe not to get complacent, but at the same time, bro, they're playing Fortress 3 times, and I'm not gonna make excuses for them, but these three maps these three maps being in the series are like some of the easiest maps to win, where I feel like anyone can win them. Granted, there's still some sort of skill gap. Fortress, we talk about how defensive heavy it is. You're guaranteed to get defenses, and the only thing that separates you from getting those is a couple ticks. S&D on that map, fucking snooze fest. There's literally one strategy, and then Fortress. When it gets really mixy, some of the spawns on that map are super questionable. So, I mean, it's not the best map set, even though they won two of those maps.
That's good, Pat. I like that. I like the meme there. I like that.
Like
That's
that?
He face planted, Patty.
Well,
face planted.
I think to that point, like you look at the maps that Boston's played so far, and like if I'm trying to kind of counter plan against them, bro, I'm taking Fortress out, and I'd rather take my chances on like an Embassy or like a Hotel S&D over playing a straight up Fortress map against the team.
I think it might be the control, Ben, because we've seen them play this Fortress control a lot, which tells me that it's one of their better maps. But at the same time, I feel like this is a map that everyone's going to be good at. So eventually, I feel like they have to get better at whatever the hell they're like potentially vetoing in series or getting out. I mean, they don't necessarily control all the vetoes, but we'll see. I mean, I just don't see them playing this map very often.
S&D in all three series so far this year. So
yeah. But I mean, I don't think that's their problem. I think it's the control. This control just shouldn't be in.
This is also the one that they
like
beat FaZe on bad though, right?
We're talking about two different things.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Fortress is a problem for Boston. I'm saying as a counter to what has been a strong start for Boston, if we're talking about teams that might potentially face off against them at Major 1 in their group, like I'm taking Fortress S&D out, bro, and I'm playing this team on any other map.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Sorry, I think we're talking about two different things there.
And then we get into the overtime, and I think New York just did such a great job here, just keeping Boston on their toes. They were going over towards the A side, and then once they were coming off spawn, they were hitting the B side. People kept slipping through. You can see P-Dog doing it now. Just getting in behind them, finding kills. That's going to open up some gaps, right? Once somebody sneaks and gets a kill, what does that do? Well, now Boston's got to back up. They got to find this guy. That opens up gaps on a map. You can see how that just kind of opens it up for his teammates. And the New York subliners are able to get in here. Let's listen to the Boston Breach listen and see how they were able to, what was going on here. Because they weren't able to deal with this New York subline.
I'll be in rails. Yeah, backstep, back to bottom rails.
Playing this one, yeah.
Spawn through the guys.
He's going top.
Yeah.
Bottom apps. Bottom apps, one shot going open or going close.
I just top.
And one's close maybe.
We can close.
Yeah.
Watching open over.
Yo, upstairs right next to us. In my flank.
Nice.
I just go above us.
Yeah, I'm trying to go.
I'm playing for.
Could be cubby. I can position this. You want me to?
Give me cubby.
Position, yeah.
Cubby.
In the truck. I position day.
Okay.
He's like double
Reloading.
He's on top.
He's not rails.
Okay.
Open.
So Hydra.
Two open. Okay.
3 B, I think.
I'm our back steps.
I'm coming
Try to contest, guys.
On stage, one shot.
You're gonna smash.
Stage one shot.
I'm contesting. I'm doing the contest spot.
Stage weak.
Just go in bottom mark.
Stage 2 stage.
Wait,
Back out the back. Pitch.
I leave it, I'm nice.
2 stage, guys.
I'm pitching stage.
Shot.
They gotta be, it's fine.
Come on, A.
I know what stage.
Nice.
Pushing out.
Nice.
Flash is
Nice.
close.
Yeah, could be. I'll see him.
Wait for
Bottom mark.
That's going to do it for the listening with the Boston Breach. And one thing I just want to know as we got into the end of this game, Paco, he ends up pulling out a scar while they're in this trap. You can see that Boston Breach, they're in the overtime. They have the defense. They get put in the Fortress fucking blender. NYSL is stuck with nowhere to go. And it's fucking Paco, bro. He switches his gun. He pulls out the AR. And you can kind of see him. You see him on a mini-map. It's number 4. He ends up finding one through bottom maps. Finds another one. Kills both guys' top maps. Caesar comes in and gets his backup. But then look at Paco. Comes over here. Finds an angle. Finds another one. I mean, he just opens up this whole thing.
You were talking earlier. You're talking about like the best way to get out of that trap in general,
Play
and
through
like you're talking
maps.
about playing through maps. But
Yeah.
I think it's what you said. I think it's just pull out 4 scars, like pull out 4 ARs. I feel like that almost is the best way to get out because you're almost due to pick somebody being greedy, right? Like all teams have someone peeking an angle, having to hold something. So if you can just win that one, that's going to open up and help you get out. So I think that might be the best way to break that trap.
Yeah, you can look at the scoreboard here. 39 and 25 from Paco, which was fucking insane. Obviously, everybody from New York doing their thing. I think the whole New York squad looks really good. So I want to show some love to Autumn. And then on the other side, across the board, it looked like everybody negative except for Big Tony over there.
We haven't had a 40 bomb, right? Yeah, it's 239.
I don't think we've seen. I don't think we've seen a 40 bomb yet. I don't think we've seen one.
We've gotten close to that.
Hydra and Asim were both really
239s,
close
right?
today.
And,
Yeah,
and
super
Brack
close.
hit 39.
Oh, and Brack. Holy shit. Damn.
Then we
are
get
frying
into
today.
the map 4. This one gets a little tricky because New York, they end up going up 30 points off the rip, and the server started lagging. So they get the perfect break off on Hydro. Server starts going crazy. We go into a reset, which is what you guys are seeing now. This is a reset here, which that sucks, man. What's going on with these servers, man? They got to fix this shit. Because it seems like we've been having some problems with some skips here or there. I've seen somebody drown today. I think it was Nero drowned in the water.
Drowned in that map. So,
Because he was lagging.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of us really know what's going on, Tom.
Yeah.
That was grim, man. That was grim.
Straight up, like he's asking a question. Like I don't think any of us got an answer for you, bro.
What do you
Like,
think
I'm
it could be
sorry.
though, Ben? I mean, you worked on that end. You worked in that field. You have
I mean,
experience
bro,
there. What's going on with the servers,
it,
Ben?
It could be the game. It could be something complicated. I'm sure they'll fix it with due time because after tomorrow, that's the last time they're going to play online matches until what, like the 2nd, 3rd week of January. So there's enough time, almost a month, I think, for them to try
Somebody
and
gets-
to fix.
Somebody get the Methods copy pasta in the chat, bro, because somebody said it was Methods' large like presence IRL and on the game that ended up like crashing the servers or something like that.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why's Tony
It was
got
funny.
this strays?
Because that was the copy pasta going around in
No
your chat. It
way.
was
No
funny.
fucking way. They're always cooking. To be fair, Tony's always cooking. So now the chat's always cooking him. But it's fucking Big Tony, man. It's the fucking
There
guy
it
right
is.
there.
There it
And
is.
this is what I was gonna talk about. Yeah, Chris, this is the reason why I fast forwarded here. Kismet, this guy was an absolute swimming machine this map, bro. And Chris, I know you were talking about just the kind of that middle lane in the water, right? You can just kind of go from one end to the map to the other so fast, bro. What is it about this map, Chris? I mean, you have to abuse the water. If you're not, you're playing the map wrong.
Yeah, it's just there's so many unwatchable lanes throughout the center of the map that allows you to close distance, and you can pick and choose, and it's impossible to basically watch everything. So you're kind of at the mercy of timing, and I'm not a fan of that on this map. I personally think if the water was frozen over, it'd probably be a little bit more consistent in terms of the way it's played. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's what we got. If you're not swimming, you're not winning. There are times where you can make some questionable decisions, and timing can really fuck you, which we'll see at the end of the match here with Reese and the way that he uses the water. But overall, New York was doing a really good job of being able to get behind enemy lines using it. So
Yeah, if you ain't swimming, you ain't winning. You know what I'm saying? I think it was Chance who said that one. I'm taking that line from Chance. Shout out to Chance.
Chris.
no, whoa, that's my line. My line.
That's
and
your
then
line?
They
That's
took
your
it from
line?
me.
They
Yeah,
took it
I
from
made
you?
that-
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
put that.
Do we have official timestamps on this?
100%.
Yeah, I don't know
I
if,
did it first.
I don't know what's
first
going on
week,
with that.
first day of the league.
Yeah, first day of the league.
First day
This
of the
is
league.
I'm backing Chris's beef on this one.
this
Let's
is
go, Ben.
this is
Up
I don't
top, up top.
I don't fucking know. Yeah, bro, my bad. It's Chris's line. I just heard Chance say it today. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first time I was hearing it. But that's a Luma in the chat. Laramie, whatever the fuck you want to say. New York kind of troll this rotation a little bit here. They have the flips, but you can see number 5 on a mini map. That's Vivid Reese going around. He just wins this big 1v1, and that all comes from the water route, Chris. What you were talking about, finding those gaps, finding those lanes, and just doing what he does. It was Kismet being that guy for New York, and it was Vivid being that guy for the Boston Breach. And you can see here, New York do a really good job. It was Paco that somehow gets out with a sub. I don't know how the hell Paco won that fight. You can see him coming in from the left side of your screen. He comes out. He wins a big fight mid-map. Takes him out. That's a big 2-piece from him and Kismet. They just absolutely steamroll him and break this hard point. And it comes down to the break here. Boston Breach have a chance to win this map here. Maybe something that you think went wrong, Pat, Ben, Chris, anything that you think maybe Boston trolled here or they could have done differently?
I got it up on here. I got it up for you, Tom.
No
number
way.
4 was ultimately the reason why. Number 4 was ultimately the reason why they won it, and it's because as soon as those players in Dome, the right side of the map, Globe, Dome, whatever you want to call it, by P1 died, Awakening was a little too slow to advance here, and he was playing this angle, so he didn't see Hydra cross to the point, which ended up getting his teammates 2-piece because they just didn't expect that Hydra could be that close.
He got there so quick, though. He got there so quick. You know,
exactly.
Right off the rip, Boston hit it off spawn. They hit it. He just got there so fast, and then he wins both
Awakening
fights.
could have saw it if he overextended a little bit more to the right, and he would have saw him running. But instead, he played on top of the pallets.
Yeah.
Realistically, it was just a good play by Hydra. And then as soon as those 2 pieces went down, with Vivid flanking, he essentially flipped his team, and basically that was all she wrote.
No, Boston kind of got shit on right there. Go ahead.
Do you like
Ben.
the Reese? So I think the question is, do you like the play from Reese as a game winner, like GG no re, or do you think?
I don't think Boston did anything wrong, really. They just got shit on.
I mean, it's a common play. A lot of people, I don't know, but I know my challenger team will do it sometimes. Is you can kind of just like swim and like prepare yourself for like a late pinch, because most people on this P1, when they start to advance, they start to play for this dome. So you can kind of like late hit the right side of the water on the top side of the map or through the center, and you essentially just repinch the dome, which will basically guarantee you the hill if you can like somehow get them off that point.
Yeah, you see these guys trying to jump for their life. Everybody's swimming for their fucking life here, trying to get to the point. Everybody trying to take these routes is just trying to catch New York off guard. But, I mean, they stacked the point, and they're watching it. They're watching a hop up, and you can see how much it means to New York. They're pushing this to a map number 5. Hydro, pretty interesting map, to say the least. Take a look at the final scoreboard. Kismet, the Bulldog, 29-21. 26-23 from Priesta. Again, I want to give some love to P-Dog, man. Love to see P-Dog. He's been doing his thing, man. It's my guy Priesta. Fucking popping off. Skies, he had a rough map, but whatever. They won the fucking thing. Hydra 21-21. And then on the other side, everybody except for Nero, negative. So rough one for Boston. Couldn't close it out here in the end. As we go to the last map, the Embassy S&D. Any final thoughts, gentlemen, on that one?
Nope.
No thoughts at all.
Good plays out of New York.
What has to go? The water? I mean, it is a pretty easy fix to just put, like you said, Chris, like freeze it up, like freeze up the water.
I mean, that's you say that's an easy fix. That's a big reskin of the map. I don't know how easy.
What do you mean? You don't reskin anything.
Listen, we got to get the Chris.
We have to get the Christmas. We got to get freeze the top of it.
You act as if like ice is just like, okay, that's just not how it works.
Bro, we got to get Christmas hydroelectric where the water is frozen over, bro.
Is it that complicated to put ice? Like, Pat, how complicated is it, bro? Am I tripping right now?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest.
Could do it in like a week.
We got a listen, bro. I know this just sounds fugazi, but there's been talks of it. It's been Mimi. We got to GA the center water. I know you can fall on it, but you can easily climb out. It's not complicated. We got to GA those routes.
You can make it so you can jump in but can't swim across type shit.
Wait.
Listen, bro. The map would play so much better without like those lanes on the map. It's actually a really good 3-lane map, and the spawns they make sense.
Or we just drain all the water out the map, and then if you jump in there, you're dead. It's like going out the map.
Ooh, good comms.
Just make the water toxic when you jump in there. There's like fucking, I don't know. There's some fumes in there. There's acid, like acid or some shit.
Lava, anything, bro.
Somebody said, bro, it's a desert. Yeah, that's true too. It's a fucking desert. How's there water in a desert? That don't make any sense.
It's in a wait,
is it a desert or is it an island? I thought it might have been
bro,
like an island.
It's like a dam, bro. It's like a dam.
All right, well, let's get into the last one. I really like the round here from Nysl because I just feel like they aren't scared to just take the map. You know, even on defense, you see a lot of teams just holding their side. Not New York. You see Paco, you see Kismet. They're not afraid to get aggressive here and be a nuisance. It was Vivid Reese who was trying to make the play, but Paco, he gets there so fast off the rip. They just don't keep track of him. They don't know he's there, and he shuts down the whole push. So fantastic plays coming out of Paco. I like the movement here from Nysl on the offense. We get into the 3-1 round. You can see how New York, they end up getting a blood here over towards the left side. It was P-Dog once again. They make it a 3v2 situation. Instead of just forcing their way through A, they say, you know what, forget it. Let's rotate all the way back. Let's keep Boston on their toes and end up bringing this one over to the B side. P-Dog got picked out on the flank, but New York, they were able to get the bomb down, just play their corners and check every 7 seconds, and they were able to close that one out. Fantastic plays coming out of them. And then we get into the 4-1 round. This is where Boston, they do a typical, let's go B, let's get the bomb down and play top office. That's a pretty typical B round. Reese had the sniper out a little bit. He wasn't really hitting too many shots. I feel like if you're not hitting shots with the snipe, you got to put it away, personally. You know,
absolutely got to put it away.
What do you guys think about that? Because I feel I just wasn't seeing too many. I mean, this shot here, but I mean, the round was already over. He could have done that with any gun or a pistol, you know. But if you're not getting picks with it, I feel like you're always better with a regular gun, you know.
I used to lose full when my teammates would keep a sniper out. Like I would always be the one like, bro, just put it away.
Yeah. No, I just feel like if it's not working, and that's not even maybe they're just not peeking you. It's not always so much about missing shots. Maybe they just know you have a snipe out and they're not giving you anything.
I know chat's gonna roast me, but like some teams like come up with strategies that just play against snipers really well. Like that was basically my team in World War II didn't have a sniper, and that's literally most of our strats were like on specific maps, just fully making the snipers irrelevant. It's obviously harder to do in this game without smokes because that smokes are a big catalyst for that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's something that's just like a risk reward. It really depends on the team you're playing, and if they're avoiding you, like you just gotta chalk it up.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. There's a saying. Sorry, Tom, to cut you off, but there's a saying that I think applies the spitting game, but it also applies this using a sniper. Basically, even if you're missing, you just got to keep shooting because once you stop shooting, it just means you lost all your confidence.
Yeah. Nah, that
makes no sense. You could pull out a Vaz Devin in a lane with full confidence.
Trolling. Yeah, I'm fucking trolling, bro.
Yeah, apparently, I'm looking at the chat. Apparently, P-Dog did die 3 times from the snipe, which I saw him die once, like in the middle of the map when he was just laying down. I mean, bro, two of the times you got sniped, P-Dog were Fugaze. Like, they were Fugaze snipes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have got...
snipes? What's the difference between a regular and a Fugaze snipe?
Because they could have got those kills with a regular gun.
Yeah.
Okay, like, if he has an M4 or a sub, like, he can still get the kill. Like, it wasn't like the sniper, like, won him the fight, you know, where it was like a long-range snipe across the map type shit. Like, you're not really getting picks and getting numbers. It's more just like, you know what I'm saying? And then right here, guys, I see you in the chat. Did you hear him here? I wonder if because this was a little.
Sure did
he crouch walking? I wonder, guys. I'm wondering if you heard him here.
Nah.
Oh, he had an itch. He said. Sky said that he had an itch.
Yeah,
I didn't hear him.
Had an itch from them damn elephant steps.
No fucking way, bro. No way. And then here you can see Boston. This was a really big win from Priesta. If he would have lost, that would have been tough. Look at Paco, big balls. He's got the bomb down in bathroom. 1v1 with 20 seconds left. Paco said, fuck you, I'm going to take my French balls and challenge you. And that's what he did. He just ran at him. I was surprised by that. He just, Awakening even, like, predicted him, too. But good play coming out of Paco. A big ball play. And then we get into the last one. The 5-3 round is where P-Dog does what he does. I've seen Priesta do this shit time and time again. New York, they rush B. They get it down. Hydra pushes a guy out back alley. It's a first blood. Priesta finds 2 kills on a flank. In Boston, they find themselves losing to the New York Subliners today. I think it threw a lot of us off. Not me, but it threw you guys off. That's for sure. Ben, people are leaving lobbies.
Bro, it's my biggest pet peeve, man.
I know. So I pointed it out.
It's not. Listen, I know you just held a big L. I know the Boston players probably raged the F off because they felt like they could have won this series.
What a map from the Bulldog. Phenomenal.
You're just ruining it for everyone, man.
Always the new guys, bro.
I wonder if they like. Maybe they like that. Maybe they like that, bro.
I started this gimmick last year, putting people on blast. Like I'm gonna keep doing it again this year when people leave. Like, it actually drives me up a wall, man.
Yeah, and then we get into the last one, man. We got the Los Angeles Thieves going up against the one and only Florida Mutineers. What's going on, Pat? Talk to me.
I got one thing for you I want to address for this series.
No problem, bro.
I can sum it up for you really quick. Ready?
No problem. Well, let me read the vetoes out, and then you sum it up. All right, we got a Hotel Hardpoint, LS Silo S&D, LS Silo Control, Embassy Hardpoint, Embassy Search and Destroy. We're going to hop right into it as we skim to the first map. Pat, you have the floor, my guy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, can you go full screen for the flank screen real quick?
Of course I can.
The big cams?
Of course I can. Pat, I got the best production you've ever seen in your life.
In the world. All right, right here. This is this series summed up in one photo.
Oh, no. Is that Brack? Is that Papa Brack? Is that him? No way. You think so, Pat? You think he sunned him? You think he sunned him, Pat?
Yeah, all series.
No fucking way, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first from Patrick Bryce. It was Brack who came out. I mean, listen, to kick things off, I mean, that's not how it started. That sure is how it ended. But to start things off, LAT came out and did their thing in his first map. I thought after the first map, LAT looked pretty comfortable. What do you think went wrong for these guys? What do you think happened? Ben, we'll start with you.
You know, honestly, for Thieves, we talked about the same thing with FaZe. Thieves haven't really now gotten off to a pretty strong start in S&D. Like they're 1-3 now, accounting for this series. Have been good in Hardpoint, but this is a surprise, man. I don't think anyone really saw Florida touching them on the respawns, and they took 2 of them. Like, I'm a little surprised, but it's early. But we all been gassing up Brack for a sec. We all wanted to see him get a chance here.
People were calling him a rookie, bro.
Which he's definitely not.
I mean, he played with some of the best players. He played with Formal and John.
On his team. Yeah. He was on the LG squad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he had his now welcome to the league series, which was great to see, and gives his Florida team a lot of interesting momentum going in the final match.
No, and then as we get into the map a little bit, this is kind of where LATs were able to chip away. They kind of push through the second rotation. They go up 50 going into second rotos. Got to listen in here for the Florida Mutineers. Let's tune in.
Lily's really weak for you. Try to play T2. Nice. Give me on phone booth. He's couches at a time. On point.
I'm one's red. Red going.
Double dead. Nice, good job. Let's get all this down. Yeah, tuck out. Yeah, I'm coming down. I'm gonna wrap you too.
Good
job, Mike.
I'm being
double dead. Nice, good job, Mike. Look my cat. I fell down. I going down. Lily's a Mike.
I'm gonna come couches. I'm dead. Okay. No, bed got me. Make sure we hold this time. Bed's getting through.
Can someone look my left?
I spawned over. Get my double pinch. Do reception desk on me. I'm coming new. Come get my Sadie pinch. Coming. Reception dead. Nice. We're missing one. He could be back spotted backstairs maybe. They're gonna be crossing bed here. I'm gonna try to cut that. We're missing one. He could be on reception. No, one's Lily. Top cat on me.
He's really weak reception. I'm one shot. I gotta lay down.
Ayo, someone kill the guy.
Okay, and I'm gonna mute the listening there. They did long ass fucking listening today. I forgot how fucking long they were. But going into this second P2 was a good Florida hold. But again, it was the LA Thieves who just work a really good break here onto the second P3. This is where I feel like LA Thieves was able to really run away with this one. You kind of say, I feel like when you rotate early this hill, man, you got to shut those doors, man. What do you think? Shut those doors. Yeah. It's going to make it way harder to break. It's going to force them to open it up. And, I feel like right here, Havoc just didn't even know he was exposed. He ends up going down. Kenny ends up throwing a nade in there. And Florida, they get pretty much picked apart here at the very end of the game. Really good map number 1 from LA Thieves. I think when LA Thieves, gets firing on all cylinders, man, this team is fun to watch, bro. Their teamwork is on point. And they always seem like they're in control. Like the maps that they win, obviously. Everything that just seems so calculated, Yeah. So I feel like LAD is just a really good team. But what do you guys think, Chris?
I'm not really too worried about Thieves. Granted they were able, they lost a series. They started off strong. I think they just ended up playing a Mutineers team that had something to prove. These guys are one of the teams that people didn't rate too highly, and I think they're just going to be a lot better than people expect them to. Granted, I don't think they're going to be, one of the best teams. I just think that these guys wanted to show it's like, hey, we're we're nothing to just like glaze over. Like we're not a bad team, and we're gonna, we can be that underdog team. And I think you see it in their players, man. Vickel's very good. I think Brack had a really good showing. It's the two people that are kind of quiet on this team that you got to see more out of are ironically the veterans, I guess, with Havoc and Major Maniac. But we'll see how that develops as the season goes on.
I think
Major had a good series though.
Yeah. It's just more so he gets out. He's gonna get outshined by people like Brack or Vickel right now.
I do think this this kind of GA of the M4 helps this team though. Because it's less of like one do it all gun, and hey, it might hurt LAT. I know we haven't talked about this. This could be a team that's hurt by this.
Think so?
We've seen. I mean, it's still LAT. Don't get me wrong, right? But more so, just like we've seen LAT have like role issues in the past of like not wanting to run specific guns, and now that there's more of a force on the Vaznev and stuff like that, it could hurt them. Obviously, we know what Kenny and this squad is capable of. But it is something to kind of think about as now we start seeing what matches look like with the M4 gun.
In a very interesting dynamic with the result of this series is Florida plays LAG tomorrow, and that's a very winnable series for them. I don't think anyone would have expected Florida potentially going 3-1, which would probably give them a top 4 seed. And for Thieves on the flip side, with this loss and the loss to FaZe, they play Optic tomorrow, and there's non-zero chance that Thieves could go 1-3 going into the Major 1 qualifiers, giving them the lowest seed in their group. So
that's actually absurd. From we already know there's a champs curse, right? Where you like if you win champs, like your roster like break. Is that what's the champs curse?
You drunk? Florida don't play tomorrow.
My bad. I was misreading the schedule.
Wait, what, Ben?
Yeah, they don't play tomorrow.
Well,
Florida, dude, I just saw
Florida. It's my bad, but Florida does go 2-2, which I don't think a lot of people expected. I think it's more so on the thief side, bro.
Yeah, faded.
Yeah,
Ben, you a little faded, Ben. You a little fucked up.
I was misreading the schedule.
It's all right. It's no problem, Ben.
But on the Thieves side, I think definitely this is a series they probably should have won, and they've got a tough matchup tomorrow. But go ahead.
Now, good 1v2 from Envoy. This is kind of where the momentum flipped a little bit. Envoy was able to get a 1v2 in the 0-3 round. Florida actually was running away with it. And then LA Thieves just started to bring it back. This one actually went all the way down to around 11. I'm down to just check out the round 11. It was Florida who went up 4-1, and they blew this lead. Probably just some adapting going on, Ben. We'll go with you on this one. Probably, I feel like, LA Thieves just kind of adapted to the pace of Florida, or maybe started picking out their strats. And, I feel like it's always good to adapt mid-game, figure out what people are doing, tendencies, and try and counter it. And it seems like that's what they were doing.
Thieves have played this map before in a competitive match, and we talked a lot in the watch party that this is a big sound cues map. This is a big team comms map on just making decisive decisions because of just sort of the layer of complexity in the middle of this map. So I'm curious to see how this one evolves because it's a lot of waiting around to make dead silence plays as a squad and trying to hit the sites, and then the retakes are pretty deliberate teamwork. So.
Yeah, that was a pretty trolly round there from Octane, just nading the wall. That was funny. And then we get into the 4-5 round. This round was insane because I love the first blood here from Draza. First, it's Sam who gets kind of some bullets shot into him over by the left side. LATs are going to rotate all the way back over to the right. But take a look here. It's going to go over to Draza's screen, the number 3 in the minimap. Check out the snap from him. He's kind of aiming down low. He peeps Mike in a window. Going to recenter and put some nice shots down onto Major Maniac's forehead. And that's going to open it up for LA Thieves. After they get that entry, Florida starts rotating out. They think LA Thieves are going to push through B. But LA Thieves, they juke. They end up going back to that A side. I just thought it was a clinical round from LA Thieves. Get the first blood field. Good shots out of Drazen and just instantly rotate it back to push it to around 11. I just feel like they juked the socks out of Florida right there.
Yeah, good play. That was really good play.
And then we get into the round 11. The round 11, we kind of watch it back now. Good nades from Havoc, man. I don't know if he had a lineup or what, but you can kind of see him on your screen now right in front of Mike. He just kind of launches a nade. You can see Mike, he launches something as well down there, but he didn't even need it. He just lands a grenade right onto the fucking feet of Octane.
Did Octane not have flag?
I don't know. So I'm like, how did he
in
just...
search?
He just got fucking naded. He just got hit in the head with a nade. I don't know if maybe he got stuck or if it just landed on his fucking head. You know what I'm saying? I have no fucking idea. But he ends up falling early, so right off the rip, I mean, it's a 4v3 situation in favor of the Florida Mutineers. And you can see right here, it was LA Thieves. They were trying to just work a pick. Kenny actually got pushed up into a pretty good spot here with Deddy. I thought maybe he was going to catch one slipping. But it was Brack who ends up getting the information. I'm pretty sure he ends up falling here. LA Thieves, they do a good job pouncing on Brack and killing him back here, but it was Florida who come in for the trades, and they kind of have LA Thieves funneled here over by that B site. So Florida got a little scary, man. They went up 4-1. LA Thieves were able to bring it back, but luckily for Florida, they were able to clutch up this round 11 and tie the series up at 1. Any final thoughts on the S&D? That one got close, gentlemen. It got close.
Yeah, it got close. I think LAT did well to adapt, but at the end of the day, I mean, this is a strong Florida Mutineer search team, and we already expected a team with Major Maniac and even Brack and Havoc, to be a really good search team. Obviously, we didn't know too much about Vickle, but I mean, those 3 players are really good search players in their own right. So, I mean, good on Florida to tie up the series here.
Yeah, we get into the control. It was back-to-back defense wins to start things off. Nobody can capitalize on this B point. So we're tied up at 1, and this is where Florida were able to finally take an offense here, and I think ultimately this is what ended up leading them to a map win here. We kind of see how they did it, man. They get some ticks early on A. They end up finishing off that point. But just to kind of see how they break, this is one of those maps, right, Chris, Ben, Pat? I feel like if you get kills, if you get like a 3-4 dead, there could be 5 seconds left on the clock. It's not over till it's over. You got to make sure that you stay alive and fucking hold these points.
Just talking about it. It's a 9-second cap with 4 people on it.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get back in 9 seconds if you go for dead.
People on the defensive side have not figured out like the optimal way, I think, to break this if you get stacked on, and if you go 4 dead, you're just screwed.
Yeah, but even right here, they LATs get these back right spawns, and Florida are reading it. They know they're spawning there. They end up winning another wave here, but once they win this wave here, I mean, this one is fucking all she wrote. You see Bragg trying to do everything he can, and we'll see how the hell Florida was able to get a fucking second wave. Because LAT's got the kills. There's 30 seconds left. Let's see if LAT's trolled here. Let's see if there's anything that they maybe shouldn't have done. Envoy kind of gets bad timing there in the field. I feel like this is a big fight there in the field. Envoy got to try and stay alive there. So really good entry coming out of Major Maniac. Oh, he didn't see him hop up either, which sucks for him. And Draza, he's kind of caught out in the field. That's going to be 2. And then Octane. Maybe Octane could have got pushed up there. He's trying to watch the flank. Honestly, it's a good play from Florida. They took routes, man. You could tell LATs were on their toes. They had no idea where Florida was. Anything you think LATs could have done differently, or just good plays from Florida here?
I mean, number 8 almost called the round, man, but then he got sniffed out. I think at the end of the day, all this map entails that you do is you just cannot all die at once.
Yeah.
Because you spawn this map specifically, you spawn cross map, dude. It reminds me of like Berlin, where like if you get one wipe, you're chalk. So you just need to make sure that you just cannot die at once. Like that a two piece in control on this map is absurd. Like it's like a game-winning play.
Yep.
If you get a 2-piece.
And it was Havoc, man, who finds that 2-piece down low with the Vaznev. You can see him take the route through mid-map. He gets aggressive. He shoots one guy in the back. Envoy's going to turn, and he instantly goes down. That's a big 2-piece out of him. That opened up the gap, and Florida, they get onto this point. They stack it, and LA Thieves, they're like, holy shit, that went up quick. Florida, they end up winning the offense. They close that out on the defense. For me, it's the offense, man. Once you win that offense, you just got to clutch up on your Ds. Don't just stay disciplined, and you're good to go. Take a look at the final scoreboard here. Havoc with a great map. I know, Pat, you wanted to see Havoc step it up, and he sure did today. He stepped it up today.
And it was a big map to step it up on. I think this was, if they don't win this, it could have got a little scary.
Yeah, definitely could.
A little scary. It could have gotten a lot scary because, again, when it comes to Mutineers and Hardpoint,
Yeah, but then you have Brack do what he did. Let me pull this back up on because I think
this was the absolute Brack show. Which, hey man, listen, I do want to show some love to Brack because he was kind of in there, He was in there. He was playing with LG. He was doing his thing. I feel like there was definitely a narrative being pushed around. You know how all these players, every player gets a certain narrative pushed about him. And whether it was true or not, I think you couldn't deny that he was a good player. When he played on LG, Brack was a good player.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, Tom. I mean, he ended up in that 10-man ultra roster, didn't end up making the cut into 5. You know how it is politically trying to get on teams. He was not like just sort of in those elite circles.
You're saying Zinni gate kept him?
No, I'm not throwing Zinni on the bus on this one, but I'm just saying, like,
this one.
for him, like the politicking wasn't there, and so he had to have a journey in challengers for a couple of years because, as you know, pro players start spitting rumors about you, saying that he was a beta or this, all, and that. But now he's back in the league and showing out, so I think it's a good story.
Yeah, bro, it's hard out here for a main AR. Like if you're an AR player in general, it's very hard to climb that ladder. That is getting a spot in the league. So good on him. He finally was able to call it back, and he's showing that he's more than competitive. Do I expect this Mutineers team to continue to be a consistent team and maybe play this well the entire time? Honestly, probably not. But at the same time, I'm glad to see that at least Mutineers is competitive, because being 100 Thieves or LA Thieves is no joke. Being the world champions.
I think I got a pick, Chris, of how people need to start acting to get back in the league, regardless of your role. I'll bring it up on screen so we can all see it here. But
yo, Pat, what the fuck is that, Pat? Yo, take it easy, Pat. Yo, relax, bro. Is that
what is this photo?
Is that Hector? Is that Repulse? Come on, you can't be doing this shit, Pat. What the fuck?
Hey, bro, that was you in real life. I just screenshot.
Hey, bro, that was fucking Hector, bro. I'm not doing that shit. It's Hector doing that shit.
Tom, you sitting back with your hands up, bro. I don't know.
No, you know what? I did slap his ass that day too. I did slap his ass. Listen, it's in 4K. It is what it is. It's something I'm gonna have to deal with. But it's my guy Hector, bro. Hector's a good guy, Pat. You know Hector?
I've never met him, but yeah, I've seen him on your stream before.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. He's a good guy, man. He's a good fucking guy. And I slapped his ass live at the next up. I forgot what the fuck it was. It was
COD Next event, right?
Yeah, the COD Next event. That was a fun event, dude. They did a great job at that event. But to get back into the map, Brack absolutely shit on him, bro. Let's go into a listening with the LA Thieves. Let's see how they were sounding.
Top flat above you. Top flat. And one shot.
Top flat still, bro.
He's still flat. I'm going gas, guys. Let's
On this truck.
I played the bathroom. Hold on 2 seconds. Can maybe get you guys
the van.
down in the fucking.
Where's the Vans.
Come for me. Deep right, Ken. All the way back there.
On the Vans twice. On the Vans.
Coming all together. I'm trying to live, bro.
Front laundry, son, bro. Front laundry, me.
I hear you from
He's like tall, son, bro. Yeah, I'm trying
the trophy.
I got laundry.
I need it, bro.
P1 major. P1 major.
You got it for me? I still have yeah, Vans. Two Vans. On time and single van. On time and single van.
On time,
single van. I spawned him.
Bro. I'll keep you on us. Keep one on us. Wanna play some in? Tell Tom. Xbox, bro. Vans is so happy, bro. I'm absolute.
All done.
Nice. Close up.
Yep, Vans.
It's up there. That's fine. I
hit him 3 times. He's still mid-time. Still
Gonna mute it there. That P2, man, you can really lock that shit down. No, Chris.
Yeah,
I know that's probably a hill you talk about with your team, about just making sure you get there and fucking get on those headies, because that's a hill that you could definitely lock in. Like
Embassy's a lockdown map where you can just get like full 60s on a couple of hills, to be honest.
Yeah. And you can see Thieves, they were trying to bring it back, and then as we get to these final seconds of the game, I mean, this is where Brack just really started to shine and really started to take over. And it was Octane who actually made things interesting here. This is where things got a little scary for the Florida Mutineers. Somehow, some way, Octane was able to find 4 here, which was just really good heads-up play.
Yeah,
it's the sub team.
They both ended up lining up in the same corner. That was
Brack makes a great play, finds
teamwork.
2. Octane, he finds 2 initially, and then Major Maniac just kind of jumps into his teammate's corner, and they line up. Just kind of bad timing there, you know? Like, that's tough. Like, that's tough right there.
That was the ultimate troll. I think they were going to do some, like, lay down setup or something, and they just didn't get to. Like, one was going to hop on the, ledge, and the other was going to lay down, maybe? But
yeah, and then, listen, we get to this third P2, and it's, it's LA Thieves who get there first. It's LA Thieves who get there first. They get the rotation. They have those back spawns, those back head glitches. And I don't really know how it collapsed from them. They just allowed themselves to get pinched by Mike, and the trophy doesn't do anything. If you take a look at this, you can see a trophy here on the right side. Now, I don't know if this is a trophy not doing anything or the grenade is just so far out of its radius.
Yeah, it's too far.
It's just too far out of their radius.
It's way too far, yeah.
Which,
I agree that
that nade deserved a hit. It was just too far.
It was like a good 17 feet away from that trophy.
Yeah, so. There was a lot of people that were like, the trophy wasn't working. But looking back at it now, it looked like, it probably was fine. It's just out of its radius. Good nade out of Mike. That's going to open things up for Florida, and they're going to work the break. So LAT's probably lost full there. They got pieced on the flank. Maybe could have won this map or even made it a map. But Brack, he ends it with a 2-piece. You can see how much it means to him, right? Getting all fucking hyped up. and getting all ready to go. So
Hey, go back.
congratulations.
That was an ego child at the end of the game. Am I faded the ego child there?
They got pieced on the flank.
Yeah,
on the flank,
Vickle went nuts
literally.
right there. Vickle hit him with the ego child. Brack came in with the two-piece, and then
teammate help there watching his cross to stay down, brother. You don't.
and then yeah, you know Vickle, bro. He hit us with the suey too after in the fucking interview, which is cool to see. So shout out to my man Vickle. Take a look at the final scoreboard. Brack 39 and 18. Let's just show love to him, bro. Went fucking crazy. Shout out to Brack and all the guys. Any final thoughts on the Florida Mutineers? Pat, I feel like you said, with those jerseys, you got to make sure you're putting up numbers and you're doing big things. And
I did say that, Tom. I did say they did finish 2-2, 3-1.
Not too bad. It's not too bad.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where kind of like the groups end up at Raleigh. I think that's going to be, can they get a winners round 1 spot and make something happen? Who knows?
And where do I see matches tomorrow?
Probably on Twitter.
Yeah.
I would say for Thieves, and we'll show the matchup. I mean, they got to play Optic tomorrow. That's probably the signature match of the weekend. And look, I mean, it's for a team like Thieves, they're going to get enough points, I think, to make it a champ. So if you end up losing Optic, it is what it is. You're getting 13.
Would this put them 1-3?
Yeah, so make them 1-3. But again, so here's a weird dynamic about this tournament format that I thought was kind of interesting. I was talking to my chat about this morning. So second and third seeds play each other in each group. And if you get a first overall seed, then you've got to play a team out of the amateur bracket. The only difficulty in that, potentially for the team in first seed, is that's your first match like in total on LAN. And you're going to play an amateur team that will have at minimum played 2 series the day prior. Interesting, dynamic there. It could almost be a trap game for the teams that are in first seed because you're not really going to kind of played the pace of the game like at LAN in that environment, whereas the amateur team coming in has a little bit more reps than you do. So something to note.
It's good to come.
No, I like that. Yeah, it's interesting. We'll see how that all plays out. Thank you for the analysis, Mr. Benji and Asim. It's always a pleasure. We got the Minnesota Rocker going up against Vegas tomorrow. We got Seattle Surge going up against Toronto Ultra. LA Thieves going up against Optic. That one's going to be fucking nuts. I can't wait for that. And then Boston Breach going up against LAG, where I think we all want to see LAG, turn it into a different gear. We want to see some good things from them. So hopefully LAG can turn it around from their recent struggles. Let's start with the first one. We got Minnesota Rocker going up against Vegas. I mean, listen, bro, love the guys on Vegas, but I'm not loving the gameplay at the moment. I just feel like they looked off today, man. They looked off. I expected them to come out a little bit stronger today. Seemed like they were going through the motions. They were making too many mistakes. So I'm going to go with Minnesota. They're 3-0. They're looking good. I'm going Minnesota on this one. Chris, who do you got?
Yeah, Minnesota just looked too good right now compared to Legion. It's easy call. Minnesota.
Ben.
It's a must-win match for Vegas, and if they do manage to pull this off, there's a crazy series of scenarios where legitimately no one would be undefeated, and we'd have a lot of teams on 2-2. In fact, it'd be like 7 teams or 8 teams on 2-2, which would be wild. But unfortunately, I don't see Vegas getting it done this series. I am going to spot them a map. I will say Minnesota 3-1.
Pat, who you got?
Minnesota 3-0.
All right, then we get to the next one. We got Seattle Surge going up against Toronto Ultra. Personally, I'm going to go with the Ultra. I feel like Ultra have some confidence about him right now. I feel like Standy's been looking really good. I know Scrappy's been doing his thing. I just feel like the team from top to bottom, they got a good roster. They've been looking good. It's gonna be, they're playing against Seattle, who's also they've had shines of light. They looked on and off. Seattle up and down, but a lot of talent gonna be in this match tomorrow. I think these two rosters gonna be going at it, man. I'm gonna go with Toronto Ultra 3-1. Chris, who do you got?
I'm going to go with Toronto Ultra 3-2. And if I do think Seattle are going to win 2 maps, it'll probably be hard points. I just think it's, Toronto Ultra just look like the better team, but you really never know what Seattle you're going to get, right? With Pred and Sib continue to fry. So we'll see.
Bang.
It's just so I want to pick Seattle in series like this. And it's just the S&D struggles for them is just like stopping me. It's really tough because I think they're a good team. But until they get better at the game, I just gonna be really difficult for me to go with them in these pick'ems. I got a Toronto 3-1.
Pat.
You guys are making this too difficult. This is simple. This is Toronto 3-0.
Very good, Pat. Thank you very much. So let's get into the next one. The Los Angeles Thieves going up against Optic, Texas. This one's a tricky one, man. I'm not really too sure. With LA Thieves coming off a loss today, I would expect them to come out tomorrow and bounce back. But then at the same time, I feel like Optic Texas came off, a good win. They're feeling good. They're feeling ready to go. So I'm going to go with the team that's hot, the team that's feeling confident, and that's Optic Texas. I'll say 3-2. I can see it going down to the wire. Chris, who do you got?
Yeah, I got Optic Texas winning. They just look like the better team right now. Their series have been a lot cleaner, and I think if they would have finished out the series versus Rocker at the beginning of the stage, they would have an even better record right now. So I'm just gonna go with Texas.
I'm gonna mix it up. I think it's a must-win match for Thieves. I think they're gonna meet the moment. I'm gonna say 3-2. Thieves take the last map.
Pat, who do you got in this one?
Tom, you're not gonna believe it.
What, Pat? Talk to me.
I got Optic Texas.
No. Fuck. Pat, Pat, you're a new guy this season. You're a new guy.
In a game 5, round 11, Nysl win.
No
They're gonna 2-3-5 it.
Nysl.
They're gonna 2-3-5 it. They're gonna 2-3. I like it,
Pat.
Pat.
Do back-to-back 2-3-5s.
Man, I feel like the Slay is like, he's a Green Wall fan this season. He think, Pat. I feel like
I've said it. Listen, since I started doing the flames with you, I've said it. I just call it as I see it every time, no matter what. There's no bias. There's no bias. Just call it as I see it.
I like that. No, that's 100%. That's what you got to do, bro. I like that. That's what we love about you, Pat. You don't sugarcoat nothing. Then we got Boston Beach going up against LAG. I got Boston. I feel like LAG's just been struggling, man. They just don't seem like they're working together. I do think highly of the players on the team. I think they're good players, but they just got to put it together as a unit, as a team. And I'm hoping maybe Alec can rile them up and get these boys moving, because I like those guys over there. I want to see them do
Preston,
well. But
chill, man. Kismet, relax.
Chris, you good?
yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
my boys just came over to celebrate their dub, bro.
It's all good. I got the pick up for you.
I got Boston 3-1. Chris, go ahead.
We got Boston winning. It's not even a question.
Damn, Ben, who you got, bro?
I can't pick LAG in my right man to win this series. And to your point, Tom, it's tough, man. But I'm gonna say Boston 3-0.
Pat, who you got, buddy?
Listen again, Tom. I call it as I see it. And in this series, I got LAG getting absolutely world starred out the match 3-0.
No
Ben is gonna be tweeting that they rage quit out the scoreboard.
No.
I gotta go with the door, Tom, so you can end the show.
You're good, Chris. Thank you, Chris. You the man, bro.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Someone that's
Beat your mic.
saying if Thieves, Seattle, and LAG win tomorrow, that would mean that there's a possibility, apparently, and if someone wants to back this up, there could be a 10-way tie with 10 teams on 2-2, which would be comedy.
That'd be fucking crazy.
I think that would mean what? The Rocker would be 3-1, 10 teams would be 2-2,
and then somebody's just getting fucking horked.
Yeah.
No, that's sad, man. That's sad. But hey, what are you gonna do, man? Somebody's gotta get shit on. Ben, hit the fucking pot. Hit this shit. Let's go, Ben. Focus. Turn the light on, too. Hey, focus up, Ben. Focus up, man.
Turn the light on, like.
I don't know. Sometimes the angles are off. The lighting's off.
I've been good about turning the light on. That's not a good roast.
And get the light on.
No way, Pat. What the fuck, Pat?
He had to get the light on.
No, that's true though, Pat. The lights were actually there. Like they weren't in my eyes though. They were on the screen. They were shining on the screen though.
They were fucking up your vision. I feel you.
Yeah, I couldn't see the screen, bro. It was just white screen.
Couldn't even see the reticle on your red dot.
No, I literally couldn't. I literally couldn't see that shit, bro.
It's all good. Ben's gonna hit a putt for us, Tom.
You think so, Pat? You think he's gonna hit it today? I think he's gonna miss again. I don't know what it is. He's just fucking off right now.
After I guarantee you, after he missed like 7 in a row, he practiced off stream a lot.
I think it might go wide left. I think he's gonna pull it because he went wide right yesterday. Now he's gonna overthink it and go wide left. He takes the putt. He shuts me up. He flips me off. He flipped me off, Pat.
He had 6 hours of practice off stream.
Man, he flipped me off.
Fuck y'all, bro. Fuck y'all.
No
I literally
way.
said you were gonna make it.
No way, Pat. Pat was saying that you were gonna miss and that
Pat's walking out.
That's what he was saying. It was crazy, bro. It was fucking crazy. But listen, guys, Ben, he sunk the putt today, baby. He took care of business. So Ben, it's always a pleasure to get the wet in the fucking chat. But that's gonna do it. For the show today, it was a good matches today, man. I'm excited for tomorrow's matches. We got some bangers, man. Cookies, we'll do the cookies after the fucking stream. You're gonna be eating some cookies, chat. You'll find out more after the flank if you stay tuned. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, anchor.fm/theflank, to check out all the audio sites that we're on, and to go follow at the flank on Twitter. Gert's doing a phenomenal job running socials. As always, take care, brush your hair, and we'll see you guys next time on another episode of The Flank. Take it easy.